proud to broadcast high school athletics
online
from Portland's West Side.
We are West Side Mobile Media,
Banks, Oregon.
Oregon Coffee Roaster, Sarah Hesselman Keller Williams Realty, Scoggins Creek Coffee, Shannon Jennings Insurance, Specialty Screen Printing, Tenente's Pizza, Terry Powell American Family Insurance, and Wana Credit Union. Now here's the voice of Westside Mobile Media, Trevor Beard, alongside color analyst Jonathan Lee.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Banks High School Athletics, as tonight the 6-1, 6th-ranked Banks Braves in OSAA 4A football host the Milwaukie Mustangs of Southeast Portland. The Mustangs come in with a record of 3-4, their first victory last week coming in overtime, 35-34 at Astoria. And Jonathan, first off, this game has huge playoff implications. Milwaukie, with any chance to stay in the playoff discussion, has to win tonight and get a loss from Banks next week or one of the other one-loss teams. And actually, I think Banks is their only option because they've already lost to Seaside and Tillamook, which would be the first tiebreaker. So if Banks would lose tonight and then lose to Tillamook, Milwaukie has Valley Catholic next week to finish the season. So they've automatically got 2 wins, regardless of what happens tonight. So don't really expect a close game, but Milwaukee's been in a lot of tight games this season, 3-4 overall, but their largest defeat only by 14 points coming to Tillamook.
And they played a lot of games, Trevor, against 5A competition, coming as a former member of the East Division of the Northwest Oregon Conference, playing some of those old schools that were right there in their neighborhood, as they should be playing in that neighborhood instead of having to come all the way over. They had to gallop on down from Southeast Portland, gallop down Sunset Highway, clear out here to the Far West Metro League. You know, it is what it is, but that competition they played against this year, those 5A teams, Rex Putnam, they lost by 2 points to Rex Putnam early on in the year. And then they beat Park Rose 48-20. Park Rose, who is 5A this year in that East Division Northwest Oregon Conference, but likely if all holds true with the OSAA new redistricting classifications, Park Rose is destined for the Tri-Valley League here in the 4A ranks. But still, they're 5A this year, and so they've got a couple of 5A teams against that upper competition. So they're coming in here, now that they're coming into 4A, they're 2-2. They're only 2 losses this season against 4A competition, coming against Tillamook. And then, of course, Seaside, a 2-point game where Seaside actually had to kick a field goal late in that game a couple weeks ago in Milwaukie on a turf field, but now they're coming into grass. So this is only their 3rd road game of the season, and they're 2-0. Somebody's going to go home with a loss. Either Banks is going to get their first home field loss, or Milwaukee is going to get their first road loss. But, yeah, you're right. They're hungry, and stranger things have happened when you're talking about football playoffs, but it's a long road ahead for Milwaukie, to be sure. But it would go a long way for them if they could knock off, the 6th-ranked Banks Braves on their home field.
Definitely a lot more, I think, for Milwaukie to play for tonight, with the chance of staying in the playoff talk with a win tonight. If Milwaukie does lose, it's going to be a 3-team race between Banks, Tillamook, and Seaside. Banks undefeated, and their lone loss, or Seaside's lone loss to Banks last week, 38-0. That would mean that the league championship game would come down to Banks versus Tillamook here at home next Friday. The other games last week, we mentioned Astoria losing to Milwaukie 34-0. Tillamook was scheduled to play Valley Catholic. Valley Catholic again forfeited that game, and Tillamook still ranked number 9 in the latest rankings, but every time they've played a ranked opponent in the top 10, they've got blown out. Last week, it was Marshfield 49-13.
Yeah, Tillamook is, they're kind of like the darlings of the rankings, kind of like Hidden Valley in the media poll is still number 10 in the state, and they've now had 2 or 3 losses on the season. And they got beat by Mazama last week at home. So 2 losses, and they got beat by Banks also at home. So 2 really, really good teams who are 5 and 6 in the state. But, Hidden Valley, we talked about it before this broadcast, a little bit of a darlings, kind of like Tillamook, kind of still holding some favor in the rankings.
4A District 1 standings on the left side of the screen. Banks number 1, technically tied with Tillamook at 3-0, but the Braves have the nod in the top position by virtue of the stronger non-league record. Seaside number 3 at 2-1 after their lone loss last week to Banks. 4-2 overall. Milwaukie 1-2 and 3-4 overall. Astoria 0-3, 3-1 in non-league play. Their lone non-league loss came 21-20 to a Gladstone team that I think now is up at around 3-3, but for quite a while only had 1 win, but was still one of the top 16 teams in the state. And Valley Catholic, again, rounding out the 4A District 1 standings. 0-7 overall, 0-3 in league play. And those 3 losses in league play, I don't think any of them have actually been played on the field. They've all been forfeits. But Valley Catholic is hosting Astoria tonight in the homecoming for the Valiants, who will be dropping down to 3A next year for all athletics in the new current classification system for next year.
Yeah, there was a lot of people headed that direction too, coming down Farmington, coming out this way this evening. A lot of people excited, headed to Valley Catholic's football stadium I think all of us are excited that they're just going to be playing a football game again, and they've got Astoria coming in tonight. So it's, it could be interesting to see what Valley Catholic does with that time off and see how they'll be coming in against the Fishermen. But just glad that they're back on the football field, and wish them the best of luck down there in Beaverton. Also, another big matchup here in the Special District 1 conference here, or formerly known as the Coapa League, is, of course, happening on the coast. Seaside is at Broadway Field, their old stomping grounds. Well, their old school, but still new football field, hosting Tillamook. So a big game down there. Of course, if you're a Braves fan, you'd love to see Seaside win that game.
Right. Also, one of the things I forgot to mention, 2 more meetings next month and in December before the official classifications and leagues are announced for next year. But the most current meeting for October has the Coapa League, except for football. Valley Catholic dropping down to 3A, being replaced by Scappoose, former longtime 4A member of the Coapa League, and that's going to make things a lot more competitive or interesting for football next year with the history Scappoose has, especially at the 4A level for high school football.
Yeah, and that's going to make the league next year, if everything comes to fruition in that. When all signs point to, looks like it's headed that direction. But with Scappoose joining, Valley Catholic dropping out, it's definitely going to make it a lot stronger league. And strong, how strong can you make it? It's already a pretty strong league, one of the strongest, if not the strongest in the state. But with Scappoose in here, it's going to be a battle.
Well, we'll take a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we'll have the Lee's keys to the game.
Milwaukie Mustangs
and
our hometown.
we'll be back after this. You're listening to Banks Braves High School Football, presented by Jason Bond Remodeling.
Thinking about updating your kitchen or bath? James Bond Remodeling has over 20 years experience fabricating and installing stone countertops and can upgrade your home with the countertops of your dreams without the dreamy price tag. They pride themselves on quality and customer satisfaction. They offer stone countertop fabrication and installation and cabinet installation services. They'll do their best to beat any bid by 10%. Based locally in Washington County, they'll do jobs in most Portland metro locations. Call 503-753-9993 or email jasonbondremodeling@gmail.com. Jason Bond Remodeling, Oregon CCV number 227733.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
6-foot junior.
Welcome back to Kelly Field on the campus of Banks High School in Banks, Oregon. Jonathan Lee with you here. Good evening on this somewhat soggy, damp Friday night, but dry right now, and looks like it's going to be that way. Let's get into Lee's keys to a Banks victory tonight, and you see it right there, number one on your screen. Scattered showers in the forecast, and the amount of rain we've had this week here in the West Portland area. We're talking about one soggy, grassy field here at Kelly Field tonight. The amount of slips we saw last week is bound to be multiplied tonight. But let's go back to that last week. Banks played on this field. Milwaukie has played on turf the last 6 weeks, including last week at Astoria. So footing on the field-wise, advantage Banks. Bottom line, Banks to win, take care of the ball, and win the turnover margin. Secondly, right there, it goes back to my days of coaching youth football down in Eugene at Sheldon. Our 6th grade football team motto, credit to my good friend Jason Rowe, who was my co-head coach, and he coined the phrase, strike first, strike hard. It means, well, just that. Be the aggressor. Come out strong. Dictate the tempo. Set the scoring pace. Make your opponent play your brand of football and keep that intensity up all game long. Strike first, strike hard, go Irish. Go Braves. Got to think where I'm at there. Stay balanced. Keep improving. Well, this Banks offense has progressively gotten better and better as the season goes along, and senior quarterback Cooper Goebel has passed for over 1,100 yards this season in just 6 games on the football field. He has 12 passing touchdowns, 4 more with his legs. Coop is connected in scoring strikes with 5 different receivers. That's a load for a 4A defense to keep track of. So if you confuse that Milwaukie defense as to who you're targeting, so they can't settle on one receiver, but keep that run-pass offense balance going to really keep them guessing. Do that. Happy times tonight down at Main Street Pizza. And Milwaukee's go-to running back is Zane Garvey. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it should, because like Jamar Flippin, Zane participated in the Les Schwab Oregon Bowl this past summer, played down at the Maxwell Field, Linfield University. So Garvey, he's the workhorse out of the Mustangs barn, the offensive backfield. But Coach Tim Price, he'll also use sophomore Lorenzo Dukes, number 24. And Price feels these two guys really provide Milwaukie with that 1-2 spot, that 1-2 punch back there in the backfield. But the Banks defense must not put the cart before the horse in plugging up the running lanes for those two, because Milwaukie has plenty of stallions in the barn at wide receiver and a very dangerous quarterback in junior Caden Harris, who has a cannon of an arm and is very accurate with his passes. So Banks defensive backs must be ready to bring it all night and keep that motor roaring back there and build a wall maybe 40 feet high and maybe put up a barbed wire net on top of it. Just don't get beat with the explosion plays and keep the ponies in the barn. Well, that's tonight's Lee's Keys to a Banks victory, presented by Sarah Hesselman, Keller Williams Realty. Let Sarah help you with all the keys to successful home buying and selling. We've got more conversation about tonight's matchup between the number 6 Banks Braves and the Milwaukie Mustangs. Coming up after this, you're locked on to Banks Braves football on Westside Mobile Media, presented by Jason Bond Remodeling.
Thinking about buying or selling a home? Sarah Hesselman, realtor with Keller Williams Realty, will help you with your real estate needs. Call 503-313-0748 or email Sarah at sarahhesselman.com. Serving your community daily and proud to support the starting lineup of your Banks Braves. Sarah Hesselman, realtor with Keller Williams Realty. Call 313-0748.
Small businesses represent so much more than the uniqueness of our area and the personality of our communities. Local business also represents the hard work and history of the places we live, which is why Wana Credit Union is staying open, so that your business can stay open too. Wana Credit Union offers all types of commercial lending options, including business credit cards, vehicle and equipment loans, small business lines of credit, and more. Stop by a branch, reach out to our commercial team, or check out wanafcu.org to open your doors and keep them open so that your business thrives for years to come. Wana Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
One moment for tonight's
The American
national
flag's
anthem.
over near the score clock. Please remove your hats and address the flag. Thank you. Braves. The head coaches for Banks Braves is Cole W. Linehan. Assistant coaches Wyman Smith, Steve Lyda, Chad Graham, Jason
And we're
Tubbs,
back just under
Gus
4 minutes
Guerra,
before the
Matt
kickoff of
Stevenson,
tonight's game between
Sam Riddle, Perry Herbst,
the 6th
and
ranked
Tyler
Banks Braves
Gary.
and the Tillamook Milwaukie Mustangs. Looking ahead to next
That's
week
next week.
already.
One game at a time.
Nice to have Jonathan Lee joining me again, as has been the case all season, and hope to have him for as many basketball games as will fit into both of our schedules as the Braves get ready to start
Captain's Approach Center Field. I
league
wanted to let
play
you know
the
tonight,
first week of December.
Concession stand, the proceeds go
Captains
to help
for the Banks Braves
Banks
tonight
soccer.
going to be Jamar
Please go
Flippin,
there and
Braden
participate and help our fundraising efforts.
Braden
There will
Brown
also be
and
some,
Michael
efforts
Vereen.
to sell some,
Braden Ball, excuse me, Braden Brown.
I guess, cornhole boards. That's it for youth football. There will be some kids going around selling some raffle tickets to an opportunity to win cornhole boards. Please support Banks Youth Football and buy one of those tickets. Win a cool custom set of Banks Brave cornhole boards.
So captains meeting at midfield and going over the ground rules with the, the procedure with the white hat, our referee for tonight. Referees as assigned by the Portland Football Officials Association.
We'll get you a breakdown of the team's colors and
Official reading from the
field
OCA. We request that you help create an
diagnosis
environment of
after.
safety,
Here's the
tolerance,
flip.
acceptance, and respect. We call it being a star. Show your enthusiasm, show your spirit, and show respect as well.
Looks like Milwaukee
Show
has
our
won the
students
toss.
a supportive atmosphere in which they can be their best, and they might just show you
Or not.
their greatness. Thank you.
Yes, Milwaukee has won the toss.
Kelly Field runs north and south. Banks will be choosing to start
Braves will be
the game at the
kicking
south end of the
towards
field
scoreboard
and
to
will
start
be
the game.
kicking to the north end of the field to start the game. So Braves will receive to start the second half. Banks will be in their home navy blue uniforms with Vegas gold stripes across the shoulder pads, white helmets with navy blue, Vegas gold, and white arrowheads. The Milwaukie Mustangs, very similar color scheme to Forest Grove, white jerseys with kind of a maroonish brown color number on the front, also same color pants, and maroonish brown helmets with the Horse Mustang logo on the side. Jonathan?
Actually, not really sure who actually won the toss there. Guessing by the body language that it was Milwaukie, but the official tonight didn't actually put his hand on the shoulder pads of the team who won the toss as they normally do. But guessing that's probably Milwaukie. They chose to receive, but of course Banks could have deferred and then still received. But anyways, you said it. Banks will receive, so that's. I mean, Milwaukie will receive, and Banks will get the ball at the second half. So.
Dylan Smith, number 30, Luke Bozide, number 62, Drew Brown.
Back to receive the opening kickoff for Milwaukie. Looks like number 22.
Number 1, Christian Lida.
Who we don't have on the roster.
Well, I know that they were talking with one of their assistant coaches before the game. They have a lot of players who are not dressed tonight, so they might have had some number switches. He didn't actually tell me that, but he may not have known that.
Number 2, Brody Thompson, the other person back to the near side of the field. 6 foot, 175-pound senior wide receiver, defensive back. We have a 21 and a 23. 21, Andrew Igontov. Could be him, the running back, or either number 23, Colin Louder, the wide receiver, defensive back. And kind of a low kick by Hesselman. It's going to be taken down around the 7-yard line. And spinning and being brought down shy of the 20-yard line, number 2, Brody Thompson.
Brody Thompson, wrapped up by number 23, Davon Vereen.
Davon Vereen, one of the best defensive players for the Braves, in on the stop on the return to start the game.
18-yard line.
First and 10 for the Braves, or for Milwaukie, from the Mustangs' 18-yard line. Under center, quarterback Caden Harris will turn and flip it out. Late fumble and hit in the backfield. Braves with an excellent chance to get a turnover on the first play of the game, but
31, covered up by number 5, Dylan Smith.
big loss back to the 10
Loss of 5 on the play. That's a
on the
second
pitch
down
play.
and 15 for the
And it's going to bring
Mustangs.
up second down and long for
On the
Milwaukie.
13-yard line.
They're actually going to call it a loss of about 5 back to the 13. Two receivers set, one each side, and late give is going to get about 7 yards up to the 20. It'll be third down and about 8.
Luke Bigsby makes the stop for Banks.
Third down and 9.
Initially looked like they were going to mark the ball closer to the 20. It's third down and 9 from the 19. Need to get to the 28. Lone receiver to the near side is Brody Thompson. One receiver to the top. And broken play. Caden Harris is going to go down. May have lost the ball late. And no indication yet. I think they are going to rule it a fumble. Braves say they have it. I think it's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, I think Milwaukie retained possession of the ball right away because the quarterback, Caden, it was a miss exchange on the. They were back there in the gun, and he bobbled the ball as he got the ball back, but he got it right back in his hands. It almost popped right back up into his hands.
The ball was recovered by Milwaukie. The result of the play is a loss of fourth down.
So a loss of
13.
about 3 yards.
Ball at the 15-yard
Almost 4 yards for Milwaukie will put the Mustangs in a 4th and 13 deep out of the Braves' end zone, and not a very good kick. It's going to take a Mustang bounce, though.
Goes out of bounds.
It's going to go out of bounds up near the 50-yard line, about the Braves' 48-yard line, where Aaron Brown, to that side of the field on the far side, will get away from it and not pick it up to avoid a turnover.
So that was a big 3-and-out. We talked about that last week. The Banks need to get more 3-and-outs, and that's important as we keep going through the season. And that was a good stop right there for the Braves defense. A 3-and-out on Milwaukee's first possession, and you like to see that if you're a member of the blue and Vegas gold.
Last year, this game at Milwaukee was a 45-point rule by halftime. And bad pass just a little bit too far out in front. That time from Cooper Goebel, intended for Jack Lyda. Close to a first down if he had made the catch. Incompletion stops the clock. 9:36 to go in the first quarter. Want to thank all of our sponsors for helping us bring you Banks High School Athletics this season. Jim's Market, our pregame sponsor. Jason Bond Remodeling, presenting Banks High School Athletics on Westside Mobile Media. Sarah Hesselman, Keller Williams Realty, Wana Credit Union with locations in Forest Grove and Vernonia. Pitch out to the near side to Jamar Flippin, is going to get the first down. Spinning and finally thrown down up past the Mustang 40. And you said it earlier, Jamar Flippin now needed just 6 yards coming into the game to surpass 500 yards on the season. He has it just on that play.
It's a 14-yard run right there for Jamar Flippin on his very first carry of this football game.
Tight formation to the near side. Just one receiver for the Braves. Number 4, Hunter Smith. And fake the give to Flippin, and Goebel has some room down the near side and is going to be bottled up, but gain of about 8. Good gain on first down, brings up second down and about 2.
Well, you and I talked about it before the ball game. The top 2 running backs or the top 2 rushers for the Banks offense is Jamar Flippin and Cooper Goebel, and Coop there picks up a nice chunky yards there, and the Braves are on the move. 2 first downs, or 1 first down, looking to get their second first down here on just their second play.
Second down and 2, tight formation, 4 receiver set. The toss to Jamar, gets outside, will get the first down, and will get, looks like close to about maybe 12 yards before getting out of bounds to the far side around the 20-yard line.
Just a great job that time by Jamar, just doing what Jamar does, just getting out there and got some space out there on the outside, on the right side there of the Milwaukee defense, and just kind of looking and seeing his holes, kind of juking and jiving his way, and found the lane he wanted, got the first down, and here we go. 4th play of the game coming up.
So a gain of 9 for Jamar, 2 carries, 23 yards to get Jamar picking up the first down on second down and 2. And Goebel now is going to keep it on the near side. Oh, lost the ball late. Milwaukee has it.
Yep, Mustang football. Ugh.
Fumble on the play.
That's just an unfortunate situation for the Banks Braves right there, and that's all on Cooper right there. I mean, he was carrying that ball out there, and basically just, I think he even lost the ball before he hit the ground, but just not very good. Coaches always teach you to tuck that ball into your breastplate right there, and that's just not handling the ball very well. He'll hear that on the sidelines and probably hear that from his dad at home as well.
And that's one of the things that Milwaukee needs to try to stay in this game. We talked about momentum. Nearly intercepted by Aaron Brown, far side. Pass intended for Thompson.
Thompson nearly picked off
out in the left flat, second down and 10. Definitely do not want to create mistakes that's going to give Milwaukee extra opportunities and a possibility to gain momentum with the number of close games they've had this year.
Yeah, much like anybody, like Milwaukie, coming into Banks, a team like Banks, you don't want to give them a chance that, give them that little inkling psychological boost that, hey, we're in this, we can do this.
Harris will give to ball carrier coming off the bottom of the pile, I believe is Brody Thompson. Will be enough for the first down for Milwaukie.
On the run. Ball out to the 20-yard line.
First and 10 from the Mustangs 20. Their second possession of the game after the Braves fumbled, driving inside the red zone, and another carry up to about the 24, second down and 6.
Tackled by number 32, Charlie White, and number 23, Davon Marine.
Zane Garvey on the carry, gain of 4, second down and 6. Braves defense is set. Mustangs come to the line. 2 receivers set. Thompson looks to throw, rolling left, is not going to get away, thrown down back near the 10. A huge loss for Caden Harris, and it's going to bring up third down and long. It'll bring up third down and about 20.
Yeah, just a great blitz package right there, served up by the Banks defensive coaching staff, and just exploded right through that big old offensive line from Milwaukie, and got in on Harris and drug him down. So far, the Banks defense doing a great job. Banks offense doing good too, but we talked about it. Got to win that turnover margin. So far, they're -1.
Harris out of shotgun, sends a man in motion. Looks like number 21. And it's going to get brought down again just around the 5-6 yard line, and Milwaukie another fourth down punting situation, and the Braves may be coming on this one as the Mustangs will be punting probably out of their own end zone. And we've had a couple of opportunities already in the season where the Banks Braves have either gotten blocked punts or safeties on opponents' kicks deep out of their own end zone.
Yeah, Milwaukie has a couple of big offensive linemen that are, much talked about in their season preview coming in, but they got some guys banged up right now, so they may not be playing tonight. But, yeah, there was just a lot of grooves out there.
And the Braves come, but are unable to get a piece of it. It's going to go out of bounds at the 40, so the Braves will have excellent field position to start their second drive of the game after driving deep into Mustang territory, and a Cooper Goebel fumble gave the ball back to Milwaukie.
Yeah, that ball didn't really look impressive coming out, but as it turns out, it'll be a 40-yard punt returner, a 40-yard punt for the Milwaukie Mustangs, and great coverage by the downfielders as that ball stayed in bounds and was down by Milwaukie at the 40-yard line. So great job all around by the Mustangs.
Banks back to their traditional spread formation, 4 receivers set, and pass out to Charlie White.
That looked like maybe a defensive hold as the defensive back that was bringing him down was kind of holding on to Chuck's thigh pad right there, as Chuck was also stiff-arming him right there, so I guess you could have went either way. But great target there to have. Chuck White, 511 yards receiving, and he got about 9 more to that right now.
Gain of 7 for Charlie White, second down and 3 to about the 33-yard line.
Jamar flipping off the left hip of Cooper.
Give to Jamar off the right side. We'll have the first down, and no flag. First down all the way inside the 20.
Jamar flipping with first down yardage.
Gain of another 15 yards or so. That's 3 carries for 38 yards. Clock under 4 minutes. Still no score late in the first quarter.
Down just inside the 20.
Banks on their second possession. Milwaukie already 2 possessions
32 yards officially for Jamal.
And pass caught by Aaron Brown, gets pushed to the outside and is drugged down. And a late flag, maybe a horse collar, as Aaron Brown is drugged down inside the 10.
Penalty marker on the field at the end of the play.
Likely maybe a late hit out of bounds. I think maybe he got out of
Brown
bounds.
has 9 yards good on the reception.
Three officials talking about it here. And I think we're going to get the explanation. Face mask.
It should be a half the distance and an automatic first down.
Milwaukee, result of the penalty yards added to the end of the play gives the Braves a first and goal. Ball just inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal from inside the 5.
Jamar right of Cooper this time.
Coble gives to Flippin, has some room initially outside, breaks a couple tackles, still pushing, and right at the goal line.
Number 31, Jamar Flippin.
Real close to the goal line, but I don't think he quite broke the plane.
Down to the 1-yard line.
Nope.
Second down and goal from the 1.
That's just a good piece of hard running as Jamar just went low profile that time, and we'll see what he does here.
And again, the give to Jamar goes over the top and through into the end zone for a Braves touchdown. 2:43 to go in the first quarter. Banks up 6-0.
Just give it to your bread and butter, and you give it to Jamar Flippin. You got 4 yards there on first and goal, and then finish the deal right there. And Banks Braves are on the board. Strike first, strike hard. And they certainly have struck first now with a 6-0 lead, and they struck hard with Jamar Flippin, Cooper Goebel, and brought the hammer and Charlie White.
Braves take the field to attempt the point after.
Wyatt Hesselman to attempt the extra point. Christian Lie to the hold. Snap is down, and it is good. 2:43 to go in the first quarter. Banks 7. Milwaukee nothing. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this. Late in the first quarter, 2:43 left. It's Banks 7 and Milwaukee nothing.
Rankings are important numbers in determining Oregon high school playoffs. So are rankings when choosing a lender to help you with purchasing or refinancing your home. Our local community home loan expert, Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans, is ready to help you win the day. Call Christy today for all of your home loan needs at 503-327-5302 or caliberhomeloans.com/kvanmeter. Christy Van Meter, NMLS number 1700271, state license.
And we're back, 2:43 to go in the first quarter. Braves kicking off after a 1-yard touchdown run by Jamar Flippin, 5 carries, 41 yards through the first 2 drives of the game for Banks, officially over 500 yards on the season. Wyatt Hesselman has it teed up. And it's going to be taken by Brody Thompson at about the 5. Cuts back to the far side of the field. Tries to hurdle a defender. Is going to be tackled around the 15-yard line. First and 10 for Milwaukee for their 3rd possession of the game with 2:37 left in the first quarter.
Milwaukee has a first and 10, ball at the 16-yard line.
And Milwaukee's actually brought cheerleaders on the far side of the field.
Good to see cheerleaders and a live high school band here by the Banks Pep Band. Nice to see for that ambience here.
Looks like about a 7 or 8 member cheerleading squad for Milwaukee, and The give, I'm sure, to Zane Garvey off the far side will be not for much. In fact, he's going to lose about 1.5 yards, second down and 12.
Also one, maybe two on the play. Second down and 12. Milwaukee looking at a 2nd and 12 ball at the 15-yard line.
Other than the Cooper Goebel fumble on the Braves' first drive of the game, it's been a pretty eventful first quarter. Not a lot of flags, not a lot of big plays. The 1-yard scoring run from Jamar Flippin, the only points of the game so far, as Caden Harris keeps it and gets up close to the 20. It'll be third down and about 8.
Gain of 4 on the play. Got a third down and 8.
Clock under 90 seconds, first quarter. Braves with a 7-0 lead over Milwaukee. Milwaukee a little bit improved from last year, but still surprised that this game so far isn't more lopsided. And a big hit late as Harris keeps it and is going to be hit right at the 20-yard line. It'll be fourth down, and Milwaukee will be forced to punt again on their third possession of the game. Milwaukee just unable to get any breaks this game so far on field position.
Yeah, that time Caden Harris can't turn the corner, and as soon as he did, he was met right there by Dylan Smith, who just wrapped him up and showed him to the turf and said, "Here's our mud."
Fourth and about 6 for the Mustangs. Back to kick it away will be Sean LaChapelle. Looks like number 1 for Milwaukee.
Jamar Flippin standing right in front of us on the 50-yard line.
Actually, it's number 6.
Jamar's going to pick this up.
Down the near side, tripped and able to keep his footing, and it's going to be brought down.
Ball scooped up by number 31.
He kind
of 25.
Yeah, he kind of stuttered a little bit there about the 30-yard line or so, and I think if he wouldn't have stuttered, he was gone. I mean, he had a lane, and when he sees a lane, he's the type of player that he'll hit it, and he'll hit it hard, and he's gone. But that one is that's Turf Monster right there.
2-yard line.
Ball at the 22, a gain of 5 to the 50, 33 yards on the punt return for Jamar Flippin.
I guess we'll call that the tumbleweed since this isn't turf. It's not the Turf Monster, it's the grass. But
Hunter Smith, the lone receiver, to the near side. Trips to the far side. Goebel rolls right and has to get rid of it in a hurry and could have been intercepted. I think pass may have been intended for Charlie White, but not really anybody in the area other than a couple of Mustang defenders. 5 seconds left. We'll have one more time for one more play before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, just not quite. You know, he had to really hurry to kind of get that ball because he had a heavy rush coming in behind him off the backside. A lot of backside pressure there by Milwaukee. But so I think he maybe got rid of that ball just a little bit before he wanted to, and I think it was a timing error right there. So, but we'll see what they do here with 4.6 seconds left. Jamar Flippin again off to the right hip of Coop.
Tight formation, 3 receivers offset to the far side. Goebel, straight drop, now is going to step up and keep it. Has some room off the left side, and he lost the football again. And I think Milwaukee recovered in the end zone. It's Brody Thompson coming up with the football.
Yep.
Cooper Goebel, his second fumble on the night, and what should have been a scoring play. And again, can't keep giving opportunities to Milwaukee.
-2 now in turnover margin for the Banks Braves, and that's not the direction you want to see in that turnover margin right now. Fortunately, Milwaukee's not been able to capitalize on those turnovers, so Banks is still leading here at the end of the first quarter.
After one, number 6 Banks 7, Milwaukee nothing. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with the second quarter in just a moment.
At American Family Insurance, protecting farms is at the heart of what we do. After all, it's where we got our start more than 90 years ago. We understand it's more than a farm, it's your life. And that's why we offer customizable policies that protect what you've worked for. Let's build the policy your farm deserves.
Call American Family Agent Terry Powell in Gaston, 503-521-8842.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
American Family Insurance.
Get an opportunity.
And we're back. Start of the second quarter. Braves a 7-0 lead after a 1-yard touchdown run from Jamar Flippin, but Braves giving Milwaukee plenty of opportunities to stay in this game. 2 fumbles from Cooper Goebel, one on a possible scoring play towards the end of the first quarter that should have put the Braves up 14-0. Luckily, Jonathan, for the Braves, Mustangs have not been able to do anything with the football offensively, and both those turnovers have come deep in Banks territory.
And Milwaukee continues to just put it on the ground. We know, I've talked with Coach Price, who's in his first season as head coach at Milwaukee, who's really regrouped and recharged this Milwaukee offense. But, Caden Harris has a gun of an arm, Coach Price says, and a lot of receivers out there, but of course missing some receivers, so maybe some of those key receivers missing. But they've been going to the ground game, and it's just not working for them. 3 for 3 is the Banks defense tonight.
2nd down and 12 for the Mustangs from the Milwaukee 18, and Harris back to throw, flag on the far side, and throws it. It looks like it could have been grounding too.
Yeah, great pursuit that time by Davon Vereen coming in there. He was all over Caden Harris and put his big old paws up there. Didn't let him. He obstructed his vision. He couldn't see anything. And yeah, you're right. I think he just got rid of that ball because he saw nothing but Davon Vereen right in front of his mug. But no flag.
There is a flag on the far side, thrown back behind the line of scrimmage around the 15-yard line. Opposite side of the play.
2 officials talking with the white hat. Now a third one comes in. That would be the line judge that's coming. I think he's just coming in to see where the spot would be. I think they got it sorted out, I think. Dead ball. Holding. False start. Excuse me, false start. Or illegal procedure.
So 5-yard penalty against Milwaukee will back them up another 5 yards. 2nd down and long from the 13. Harris under center. Straight drop. Looks to throw deep. Has a man and well overthrown. Intended for Sean LaChapelle. It'll be 3rd down and long. Well defended that time by the Braves secondary.
Yeah, Dylan Smith was in there. Stride for stride with the receiver. Also looked like, Jamar Flippin was also over there coming over for his safety position. That's exactly what a safety is. He comes over to help out on those deep plays, and Jamar executing that play to perfection, but didn't need to. The ball was overthrown. But great defense there by the Banks Braves.
I don't think Milwaukee's had any first down since their opening drive. 3rd down and 17 from the 13. Harris pitched late to number 3, Zane Garvey, and he's going to get a big chunk of yards back, but it's still going to be 4th down and about 7, and I'm sure another punting situation for Milwaukee.
Tripped up there by...
There's a penalty marker on the play.
Dylan Smith was in there, but also Jack Lyda also got a hand in there as well.
Looks like a hold against Milwaukee.
If that is the case, this is going to be coming back. Almost certainly they'd take this penalty, move him back 10 yards.
Whitehat coming over to the Braves sideline to speak with one of the Braves coaches, Jason Tufts, to see whether or not they will accept the
holding. A decline.
Penalty was holding on Milwaukee.
So they'll take the yardage as it'll be 4th down.
4th and 7.
Yeah, that's the right call there. Because I mean, if you take the penalty, it's gonna be 3rd down. Give them a down over again. So 4th down, you're not gonna give them an extra down.
Line of scrimmage for Milwaukee is the 23-yard line.
Jamar Flippin standing at midfield to receive the punt. Ooh, nearly blocked by the Braves, and Jamar makes the catch. Look like he may have bobbled it and isn't going to get much, maybe 2 or 3 yards, as he had to come up to the Milwaukee 45 to make the catch. So again, great field position for the Braves, but only one score to show for it with the 2 fumbles.
Well, I walked the field before the game just to kind of see what the situation looked like, and the field is actually in great shape. I mean, credit the landscaping crew, the grounds crew here at Kelly Field. It's great. I mean, it is definitely soggy and wet, and there's spots where there is mud there. So, I mean, you know, you're bound to get it. The ball's going to get wet, and they try to keep it dry as much as possible. But I think, you know, that's just kind of, you know, slippery ball a little bit.
Goebel brings it down, gives to Flippin off the far side. Slips an ankle tackle and gets, should have the first down, down to about the 30. Gain of about 13. Will be a Braves first down.
Give him 12 yards on that run for Jamar.
Whistles and a timeout Milwaukee. 10:22 to go in the first half. Banks 7, Milwaukee nothing. A little bit closer game than we initially thought. 2 fumbles will help that, but we'll take a 30-second break and be back with more second quarter action. Banks 7, Milwaukee nothing when we come back.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye's is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets, custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye's is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsboro. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahayes.com. Or call us at 503-648-2341.
And we're back following the timeout from Milwaukee. 10:22 to go in the first half. Braves just a 7-0 lead. Cooper Goebel, 2 first quarter fumbles, the second of which coming on the final play of the first quarter that should have resulted in a touchdown. And Jamar Flippin is spun around. A nice job of tackling that time by the Milwaukee defense. Jamar's going to lose about 2, back close to the 35 to the 34.
Yeah, just a great pursuit there by the defense that time for the Milwaukee Mustangs. It's one of the very few times that they've gotten in the backfield to bring Jamar down. But great job by Coach Price and his what's left of his 2021 football team. Talking with some of the assistant coaches for the game, they have many of the guys that aren't playing but aren't in the game or not dressed or have been dismissed or left the team.
Second down and 13 from the Milwaukee 31. Goebel out of shotgun. Straight drop. Quick throw out. A little bit high. Aaron Brown tried to reach up and get it, but couldn't pull it in. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that was rushed all the way right there. And I don't know whether he just kind of, found a piece of one of those little mud chunks in the ground and kind of slipped his footing, and that'll kind of mess with your situation. But yeah, they like to do those little slant patterns. Got a little peek of the play chart before the game up at the coach's box, and they like to do some of the little slant patterns. Didn't work that time.
Goebel brings it down, straight drop, looks to throw, nearly and should have been intercepted. Braves defense, I think, wanting a pass interference.
Charlie White was the intended receiver for the Braves, just kind of a little bit over the middle there, and he was well covered, double covered that time by Milwaukee. And you're right, should have been intercepted, but it wasn't.
Jason Tufts looked like he was yelling something to the officials, giving hand signals actually to Cooper Goebel. So it looks like the Braves are going to go for it, 2 deep to punt. 4th and 13 from the 31.
It's the old Jonathan Smith decision right here. You're too close to punt, but they might do a
from
quick
the 34, punt. Yep. Cooper Goebel's punt is going to go out of bounds around the 5.
That's a great bounce for the Banks Braves. They're going to bounce the inside the 5-yard line.
Ball out of bounds. Looks like Milwaukee will have a 1st and 10, ball at the 5-yard line.
Great decision. It's I was going to say it's great to have a quarterback like Cooper Goebel, who's so athletic, who is very good, and he's 6'5", so he can see what the defense is presenting, and he can just drop back real quick and take it and do a little quick punt, and beautiful punt right there. Not more than you can ask for than what Colt Linehan would ask for right there.
So just a 26-yard punt. Again, Braves unable to put points on the board, but again pinning Milwaukee deep in their own end zone. Harris under center, drops the football. I think he got it back and is going to get a big push.
Yeah, it's a second fumble tonight for Caden Harris, and second time he recovers his own fumble.
Ball carried by number 3.
Banks has 2 fumbles and lost both by the quarterback.
Made by number 32.
Big push, gain of about 4, up close to the 10, second down, and 6 from the 9.
Mustangs have a 2nd down and 6.
That ball is actually spotted on the 4-yard line.
Harris. And rugby scrum underneath. Looks like he'll actually lose a couple yards, bottom of the pile. Again, Caden Harris with the carry.
Up by number 52, Braden Ball. Number 53, Michael Vereen.
3rd down and 7 from the 8. Need to get to the 15 for a first down.
3rd down and 8 for Milwaukee.
3rd and 8 from the 7.
Milwaukee, like one of those teams that still huddles back to get the play call in. Banks, they get it from the sidelines.
No rhythm to this game, and the pass is caught by the tight end. First down, but a huge hit on the play, but the pass is caught by number 26. 26 not on the roster.
Number 25, Isaac Moreno.
Oh, looking at the Babe, looking at the
Jamar Flippin.
Banks roster. Looked like number 26, or Zach
the 20-yard line
Bowman, the
has a 1st and 10.
tight end.
Isaac Moreno was the tight end who made the catch, number 25 for Milwaukee.
Harris again under center, and is going to keep it and pitch it late. And nice job making the tackle up at the 25, but still a good gain of about 4 on first down.
Number 22, the ball carrier for Milwaukee. Wrapped up
Alberto Bucio. Excuse me.
Logan Kine, number 58. Gain of 6 on the play.
Again, number 22 not on the roster for Milwaukee.
Has a 2nd and 4, ball at the 26.
We're going to actually mark it at the 26, not the 24, so 2nd down and 4. Harris under center. Will turn and give it off the, no, he's going to keep it. Has a little bit of a hole, but he's going to be hit and thrown back after a short gain. It should be 3rd down and about 2.
Yeah, that time he ran right into a brick wall by the name of Charlie White, who just stood him up and just pushed him backwards. And I think they're going to give him forward progress maybe, but he still might have lost a couple of yards. Charlie White just doing a great job. Leading tackler for the Banks Braves, coming in with 61 tackles through 6 games played. Charlie, another great young man who great in the classroom and great both ways on the football field. Leader in receiving yards, leader in tackles, Charlie White.
Harris under center. Turns, and I think a big push is going to get across the 30. The 30-yard line is where they need it for the first down. And it will be a Mustangs first down, under 6 minutes to go in the first half. And Milwaukee has a little bit of a drive going here from deep out of their own end zone around the 5-yard line. And go ahead.
Yeah, their first 3rd down conversion in this game, almost halfway through the second quarter, and I think it's just a little bit that Banks Braves have been on the football field a little bit too long, and that's because those 2 fumbles, and now we're kind of, Milwaukee's trying to build something off of it.
Harris, straight drop, looks to throw. Pass is through the hands of number 20,
Harris's pass intended
one, I
for
believe,
number 21,
Andrew Igontov.
Incomplete. Second down and 10. Ball is at
What I was going to mention
31.
earlier, Jonathan, is we did see Amity with a 11-minute drive 2 weeks ago. Milwaukee with an opportunity here. If they could keep the ball the rest of the first half and just go down one score, that would be huge for them.
Yeah, and you know that they watch the video. A lot of the schools around the Portland metro area and across the nation, they use the Huddle system. That's how they get their scout videos and Huddle and other things out there as well with the software and analytics. And so, you know, they've watched it. They've seen it, trying to exploit it.
Harris, straight drop, and now is
he ain't going anywhere.
Not going to get away. He's going to lose back inside the 30. It'll be third down and long.
Yeah, I would call that one officially Logan Kind and friends in there. Logan Kind, though, had him wrapped up at the waist, and he was not letting go. He had a nice, kind, warm hug and sent him to the ground.
Third down and 13 from the
Logan Kind also in the top 5 in tackles for the Banks Braves this season. Doing a great job.
27-28. Mustangs need to get to the 41 to pick up a first down. A likely passing play on third and long.
Caden Lewis really barking at his running back in the backfield. That'd be Zane Garvey shouting out instructions.
Twins each side for Harris. Straight drop. And now he's going to step up and is going to be brought down. Will be tackled shy of the line of scrimmage.
And that was just not a good decision because Luke Bigsby was right there, the right place, right time, just wrapped him up and dropped him actually for a loss. It's interesting. Caden thought he was going to step up and seize that hole right there, and Luke Bigsby said, bad idea, son.
A loss of about 2 on the play on third and 13, and again, Jamar Flippin standing at midfield. Still, did have that 33-yard punt return earlier in the quarter that Cooper Goebel, that turned into Cooper Goebel's second fumble of the night later in the drive, but really hasn't had a chance to break one other than that here in the first half. Not on special teams anyway. Number 11, Tate Brandon with the kick.
Davon Breen had it.
Jamar Flippin brought down by the back of the jersey right at midfield after about a 6-yard return.
Yeah, right down there in front of us. It's going to be marked right there on the 50-yard line. I was going to say Davon Vereen almost got a piece of that football on the punt. I think he might even got a fingernail on it. He was right there. Great position, great pursuit by Davon.
Right now, I would have to give our Oregon National Guard hero of the game to the Banks defense. Braves offense really unable to do much tonight, especially with the 2 fumbles from Cooper Goebel. Cooper saying something to the white hat, out of shotgun with Jamar to his left. Quick toss to Jamar, gets to the outside, and beautiful job to take him out at the knees. Nearly flips him over after a short gain of about 3 to the Mustangs 47.
I think fans here might have wanted a horse collar, as it kind of looked like that from the back. Something they brought him down from behind.
Tackle made by number 22 for Milwaukee.
Eight carries now for Jamar with 56 yards.
Jamar, the only touchdown of the game, a 1-yard run in the first quarter. Cooper to go deep and has it caught. Charlie White unable to make the catch at the 25. It's going to be 3rd down and 7.
He had it in his midst, but he was covered pretty well. Pretty good coverage that time by the Milwaukee defensive back. And I think maybe hearing the footsteps or maybe even the defensive back from Milwaukee might have got a piece of it to help jar that loose a little bit. But great coverage all around for Milwaukee that time. Not easy to guard to cover Charlie White.
Sean LaChapelle in coverage for the Mustangs. 3rd down, 3rd down and 7 for the Braves from the Milwaukie 47-yard line. And in motion is Aaron Brown. Quick pass thrown out. Hunter Smith. Spin move gets to the 45. Ball comes out late. Milwaukee saying they
Banks
have
has it.
Number 4, Hunter Smith, with the completion from Cooper Gold.
Hunter coming up, shaking his hand a little bit. I think maybe he got rolled up on, when he got in there to recover his own fumble.
The 45-yard line.
Getting a fresh, dry, clean football in there. Great work by the Banks youth football, serving as ball boys tonight.
4th and 5 from the Milwaukie 45. Braves.
You want to have a good high school football team, get yourself a great youth football program as they have here in Banks. Fine. They were recognized last week here at halftime. Great to see, great to have that for the youth of today, to have a football program there, and that just feeds into high school.
And Banks coming out of the huddle late. Coordinators Jason Tufts and Steve Lyda having a discussion with Cooper Goebel. And you know who I do not see on the sideline tonight is Cole Linehan.
He might be up in the booth. They do have some coaches up there in the booth. Sometimes head coaches will choose to sit up in the booth to get a better look at things from sky view. I know one year covering Linfield, Joseph Smith, actually, who normally stands on the sidelines, he actually spent like 3 or 4 games. He wanted to go up high in the booth because he wanted to see a different perspective up there of the game, and so he actually still called the plays, but from the press box.
Coming up at halftime, it will be the Jonathan Lee halftime show as he breaks down the first half and takes a look at scores from other games around the state.
Have a 4th and 5.
Braves appear to be going for it on 4th and 5 from their own 45. Goebel out of shotgun. We'll see if he just rugby kicks it away, and the Braves are going to have to burn another timeout.
Yeah, Cooper looked right back. He was looking around, and I guess he didn't see what he wanted, and he looked back to the white hat and said timeout.
So we didn't take one last time. We'll take one now. 1:40 to go in the first half. Still just a very low-scoring one-touchdown game. It's Banks 7, Milwaukie nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Andy McNabb, Allstate.
Andy McNabb Allstate in North Plains is your local Allstate agent. Located at 10120 Northwest Glencoe, across from Subway. She has 20 years of Allstate experience providing auto, home, renters, life, and...
And we're back. We'll get that break into you again later on. And the kick from Cooper Goebel is going to bounce and be downed around the 10-yard line. It was Wyatt Hesselman in on the punt that time.
Yeah, that was the timeout, is they wanted to just, they weren't going to decide to go for it. It was just a quick 30-second timeout just to get the punting unit back on the field and go ahead and punt. I think there was some temporary indecision there, like, do we want to go for it? No, we don't want to kick it. So I think they just wanted to set up to see what Milwaukie was going to be in, and decided, nope, it's smarter to go with the field position.
90 seconds left for the first half. Braves a 7-0 lead. Milwaukie the football from around their own 10, looks like 12-yard line, and looking to go deep, well overthrown his intended receiver for Sean LaChapelle.
Jack Lyda on the coverage.
Coverage by number 2, Jack Lyda. Pass incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Ball to the 12-yard line. The halftime song will be Get Loud by J-Lo.
The dance team. Second down and 10 following the incompletion. 1:25 left in the first half. Not a very impressive half for either team, but Banks a 7-0 lead. Pass is thrown. Looks like he was able to make the catch, number 13. It will be for a first down up close to the 25. Tate Brandon making the catch.
Aaron Brown not happy with that call, as he was showing that should have been incomplete. And that ball looked like it. Surprised that he came down with it, because it's your basic tip drill right there, because that was tipped in the air by a Banks defender. And how the Milwaukee receiver came down with that ball is just wow.
First and 10 from the Mustangs, 24. Milwaukee hoping to tie it up before halftime. Harris to throw. Has a man. LaChapelle makes the catch. Down to the 40.
Wide open that time. He had everybody beat, and great job by Caden Harris to spot LaChapelle, one of his primary targets down there. And, we talked about this in the pregame, this is exactly what Banks cannot sleep on, because Caden Harris has the arm strength to get it out there. He's got the receivers that can get out there, and he's very accurate, and he showed it right there. And Milwaukee is right now, you give them a little door, and they think they can win this thing, and they're going in. They've got the ball for the first time tonight in Braves territory.
So 17 from the 33 to the 50, another 10 to the 40. A 27-yard pass play from Braden Harris to Sean LaChapelle to put Mustangs in position to put points on the board here with still 51 seconds left. And the ball at the Braves 40. We'll keep things here, actually, as we're going to head to the halftime break in just a couple of moments.
Yeah, this is gut check time right now for the Banks defense, and this is what their coaches are telling them right now. It's like, okay, now you're on your 40-yard line, and you just going over, the assignments right now and what they can do, and say, you got to toughen up right now. You bent right there, but don't break.
So defensive coordinator Steve Lyda acting as the coach on the field. Cole Linehan is not on the sideline. Harris again to throw. And again has LaChapelle. Pass is thrown high, but he bobbles it and makes the catch. Brings it down at the 10.
So they get the ball inside Banks territory. Now on the second play, they get the ball into the red zone for the first time tonight.
Whistle and Mustangs take their third and final timeout. We'll take a 30-second break and get you a replay of that Andy McNabb Allstate break.
Andy McNabb Allstate in North Plains is your local Allstate agent. Located at 10120 Northwest Glencoe, across from Subway. She has 20 years of Allstate experience providing auto, home, renters, life, and other insurance products. Get a quote and receive a $10 gift card. Andy McNabb Allstate. Call 503-433-5030. That's 503-433-5030.
And we're back, 42 seconds left in the first half. Mustangs driving, and a very surprising opportunity to tie the score at 7 before the halftime break as Cooper Goebel, 2 first quarter fumbles. Braves have just 7 points on the board late in the first half.
See what Caden can do with his offense.
Harris, again, straight drop. Now will roll left, throws late. Arano is going to keep it, and he's going to lose.
Harris with the carry, tackled by number 58.
Back to about
Logan
the 15.
Kine.
Yeah, that's a coverage breakdown right there. As the Banks defense just did a great job right there of covering all their bases that time. Caden Harris had no one to throw the ball to this time, and so now the Braves need to suck it up and keep coming.
So second and goal from the Braves 16 after the Mustangs initially had first and goal from the 9 after the pass play to Sean LaChapelle. 33 seconds left in the first half. Mustangs out of timeouts.
Hunter Smith shifting over to the left side as they've got
Harris with
there.
5 receivers and throws it over the top. Caught, bobbled, no. Incomplete. Intended for LaChapelle.
Yeah, he bobbled that time, and he was stride for stride. He actually had the Banks cornerback, looks like Jack Lyda down there, had him beat down there, but he just bobbled the football in the corner of the end zone.
And La Chapelle, I think, may have came down hard on the track, and he's a little slow to get up. 27.4 seconds left. I think the Braves may have taken their final timeout.
Injury on the play. La Chapelle, he's up and running.
They're just taking advantage of the injury timeout.
Yeah, I think it's official timeout.
27.4 seconds remaining, and we got a third down and goal, ball at the 16.
Second and goal from the 16.
Haven't heard much of Milwaukee's big defensive lineman Jake Cooper tonight. Banks have done a pretty good job of neutralizing him.
Harris initially gets away. Now is going to keep it. Nearly runs into an official and is going to lose again. Back to the 20. Short loss, and that may do it for the first half. Officials getting the ball spotted quickly.
Davon Perrine on the stop that time again.
And Harris looks to throw. Lyda passes knocked away in the end zone.
Pass knocked away in coverage by number 2, Jack Lyda.
Yeah, they tried to sneak it over the head of Jack Lyda, and he wasn't having anything of it, although he is a little slow to get up down there.
I think Mustang coaches may have wanted a pass interference. Lyda, though, I think just did get turned around in time as the ball got there. Was face guarding, though, while the ball was in the air until the ball got there. And a late flag.
Sideline warning.
Penalty marker.
So 3 seconds left in the first half. Braves offense not very impressive in the first half. Just a 7-0 lead, 2 first quarter fumbles for Cooper Goebel.
Yeah, 7-0 lead, and both times when they fumbled the football, they were driving towards the Milwaukee end zone, and it's just bad handling of the football.
And Goebel will take a knee to end the first half. At the break, it's number 6 Banks 7, Milwaukee nothing. A very lackluster performance from the Braves, and Milwaukee's got to have all the momentum coming into halftime, despite the fact that Banks will get the ball first after those 2 huge pass plays to Sean La Chapelle that nearly put them in the end zone to tie it at halftime. But the Banks Braves able to hold on defensively for a 7-0 lead. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back with the Jonathan Lee halftime show in 2 minutes.
Banks Post newspaper is the official news provider of West Side's greatest hits. Listen hourly for West Side news from the Banks Post newsroom. Banks Post newspaper covers Banks, Manning, Buxton, Roy, and surrounding western Washington County communities. If you'd like more information on the Banks Post or want to pick up a copy, visit a local business today. You can also visit their website at bankspost.com or their Facebook page, Banks Post.
In times of financial uncertainty, how can you stay on track? Call on someone who's invested in your success. I'm Chris Recheck, your Forest Grove Edward Jones financial advisor. At Edward Jones, we believe in building a complete picture of your financial life, including your goals and passions, so we can help you work toward achieving what's most important to you. Call me at 503-359-4092 or visit edwardjones.com to get started today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey Brave fans, this is Chris Lyda, the voice of the Braves, here to tell you about Econofab Buildings. Econofab is a third-generation family-owned and operated pole building company located right here in Brave Country. Econofab has been in business for almost 50 years, constructing shops, garages, and barns. I had them build my 2 shops, and as a satisfied and repeat customer, I'm here to tell you that Econofab puts the fab in fabulous. Go visit them online at econofabbuildings.com.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main Street pizza.
And we're back. Banks with a 7-0 lead, number 6 team in 4A football. A very unimpressive first half, just a 7-0 lead over Milwaukie, who has a lot more to play for with a possible playoff talk continuing. Jonathan Lee has a look at the Wanna Credit Union scoreboard at halftime.
Yeah, got a mix of Thursday night, Friday night football scores on this scoreboard as some of the Oregon teams starting to buy into the whole national scene with Thursday night football. And I think really we can thank the pandemic for that, of making games on different days and hey, let's try it on Thursday night. So we had a slew of games on Thursday night. But here's a game that's going on tonight, and it's in Rock Creek. Talk about a travel plans here. The South Medford Panthers came up from Southern Oregon to Rock Creek to play the Big Cats, and Westview is dominating this one. This game is at halftime, presumably. Westview leading 35-0 over South Medford. That is a 6A contest in that one. Union of Vancouver, around the Vancouver area, they're leading Adrian 20-0, or actually Union beat Adrian. That was last night. Another game from last night, Central Catholic. Oh my gosh, 6th ranked in 6A. They just continue to pour it on. They obliterated Gresham 71-0. West Lynn, they're going to move up in the rankings as well, in the OSAA rankings, beating Lake Oswego 31-14 last night. Tigard fell 21-19 to Lake Ridge. We got a final here that was presumably last night as well. St. Paul beating Perrydale 58-22. Don't normally get final scores from that 8-man ranks just down there, a little ways south of southeast Washington County, down around Marion County. Another final from Eastern Oregon, LeGrand beating Ontario 34-24. LeGrand kind of hanging around, bouncing on the bottom line of Banks in the rankings. Henley beats Klamath Union 41-12. And some other games going on. Let's see, I know Redmond was at Connell, Washington tonight. Big game here in locally. No report so far, but this one is a battle for Yamhill County supremacy. Always a big one when Newburgh and McMinnville go head-to-head. Big, not just in high school, Trevor, but believe me, the battle for Yamhill County supremacy between Linfield and George Fox, always tight. So I know what that affair is going to be like. So hopefully we can get a score on that one. Newburgh is hosting McMinnville tonight. Also, Scappoose. This is a big game that could have some playoff implications in the 5A ranks. Scappoose is down at North Salem. Scappoose sitting at number 11 on the OSAA ranking coming into tonight. North Salem number 10. So it would be great for the Indians to get a win there. Also, Scappoose could be in the Coapa League next year in 4A. That would be big for the 4A here. The Dells playing at Park Rose tonight. Beaverton, that's another big rivalry game. Beaverton going from Cedar Hills to Cedar Mill to play Sunset High School tonight. Sherwood is playing Glencoe at Hare Field, just west of where we are here at Kelly Field. Number 5, Canby, is taking on Forest Grove. Interesting story. I was reading about the possible that possible proposal from the OSAA, the 6 classifications. That would send Canby from 6A down to 5A Northwest Oregon Conference play. So that one, Canby Forest Grove, now is a non-league contest because Forest Grove is 5A and Canby 6A. but they could be in the same conference next year. South Salem, they played Sprague. They're playing Sprague tonight. Hillsboro is at Wilsonville. Good luck, Spartans. They're playing the top-ranked Wilsonville Wildcats at Randall Stadium tonight down in Wilsonville. I think no score report on that one, but I'm predicting a big win for the Wilsonville Wildcats. Corvallis is hosting Dallas, and that's pretty much all the scores we have here tonight on the Wanna Credit Union scoreboard. Our score, very low scoring, as Trevor said, with 8 minutes to go before the second half. Banks Braves clinging to a 7-0 lead. Could be more, but they'll get the ball to start the second half, a chance to redeem themselves here at halftime. Trevor?
Thank you, Jonathan. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back and break down the first half action. When we return after this 2-minute break, you're listening to the Banks Braves High School Athletics Halftime Show on Westside Mobile Media on YouTube.
Northside Rock Products in North Plains is where you can get gravel products directly from the quarry. They service contractors as well as homeowners. They can get rock straight from the quarry that's essential for paths, driveways, under concrete slabs and roads, as it packs and condenses well. Northside Rock Products offers a variety of quality crushed rock and fill material, as well as boulders and specialty rock. They offer trucks for hire for contractor work. Northside Rock Products can bring their mobile crusher to your jobs for on-site crushing and screening. Delivery is available. Get all you need at low winter rates. Northside Rock Products LLC on Northwest Dixie Mountain Road in North Plains. NorthsideRockProductsLLC.com.
North Plains Chamber of Commerce invites you to check out Oregon Coffee Roaster. Based in the Portland foothills, this wholesale roaster has decades of experience offering quality Arabica coffee and loose leaf tea to businesses. Whether you're a business customer interested in a bulk order of 10 pounds or more, or a residential customer interested in smaller quantities, contact them today for your coffee needs. Call 503-647-5102 or visit their website, OregonCoffee.com. Shannon Jennings of North Plains is your local independent insurance agent. Are you overpaying for insurance? She can partner with a vast range of insurance companies to provide you with the most competitive products and services. Whether it's your home, auto, commercial, or any other type of insurance, we take the time to learn about you, your family, and your business to find the best coverage to protect your unique needs. For quality insurance coverage at affordable prices, call 503-444-0566 or email Shannon at shannonjenningsinsurance.com.
Scoggins Creek Coffee is proud to offer delicious hot drinks and delectable breakfast items too. Visit their 2 locations in Gaston and Yamhill Carlton. Open 7 days a week, Mondays through Saturdays until 5 and Sundays until 3. Make sure to ask about their weekly specials and visit their Facebook page. Scoggins Creek Coffee, 503-985-3483.
.445 to go before the teams come out of the locker room, and we add another 3 minutes to the halftime clock. Banks just a 7-0 lead over Milwaukie at halftime. Cooper Goebel, 2 fumbles on Banks drives inside the red zone, keeping Milwaukie close. Milwaukie an excellent opportunity after 2 huge pass plays to Sean LaChapelle to get in the end zone. In fact, they actually had a pass play in the end zone, broken up by Jack Lyda right before the end of the half to keep the score at 7-0. Jonathan has a great story to tell us about our trip to Hidden Valley.
Yeah, I got a score report from Ben Mackey. He's one of the reporters down there in Southern Oregon. Spencer Fisk kicked a 42-yard field goal at the end of the first half. Hidden Valley leading North Valley 26-0. And, of course, Becky Vidlak, the mother of Nate and Sam Vidlak, said thanks for the updates. Really great family. Got to meet them when we were down there at Hidden Valley, the Vidlak family. If you want to, if you're looking for a really good, awesome family, you'll be hard pressed to find any better than the Vidlak family. Shout out to them there in Grants Pass. They're just a great family. Mark Vidlak, he's also the baseball coach at Hidden Valley. Sam Vidlak, who's playing his freshman year with the Oregon State Beavs. Go Beavs! And Nate Vidlak, of course, who's the quarterback for the Hidden Valley Mustangs. And just a great family, the Vidlak family from Applegate, almost said Wisconsin, from Applegate, Oregon, that is, just outside of Grants Pass. And really awesome time to get to meet with them and some just great people. And I'm sure you have got some people in your life as well out there. But the Vidlaks are some of the best. Grants Pass has churned out a lot of them. My good buddy over the years that I got to meet in this business, Jason Rowe from Grants Pass. So, yeah, go Cavers.
And Milwaukee has come out of the locker room at halftime as they get ready to start the third quarter. 2.5 minutes left. I'm sure they'll put another 3 minutes on the clock once Banks comes out of their locker room. I'm sure they'll get an earful from either Cole Linehan or Steve Lyda and the rest of the Braves coaches. Again, we have not seen head coach Cole Linehan on the sidelines tonight. Been upstairs at the top of the bleachers, right at the bottom of the ladder to the press box where the coaches, normally the coordinators, are stationed. Haven't seen Cole go upstairs either, so not sure where Cole is tonight. But Banks just a 7-0 lead at halftime over the Milwaukie Mustangs. You mentioned Sam Vidlak and Oregon State. Want to talk college football a little bit, have some extra time, about 5 minutes before the start of the third quarter. Oregon and Oregon State, both huge games tomorrow. Oregon at UCLA in the Rose Bowl at 12:30, that game on ABC. And then later at, I believe, a 4:30 start, Oregon State hosts Utah. And Oregon State both competing for possible trip to the Rose, or for the Pac-12 championship game representing the Pac-12 North.
And you know why that game is on ABC tomorrow? College Game Day, ESPN College Game Day is in Los Angeles. That's the featured game on the West Coast. I saw that a couple days ago on Twitter, or maybe it was the Oregon fan email. One of those two. I'm pretty sure it was on Twitter. ESPN Game Day saying they're coming back to the West Coast this weekend for the Oregon UCLA game.
And you mentioned ESPN, another broadcasting news. Neil Everett, a name many of you might be familiar with, Florence native, grew up in Oregon, has a lot of ties to, big fan of Oregon sports, the Oregon Ducks, and the Portland Trail Blazers. Will now actually be working for the Portland Trail Blazers, as he will be involved with in-studio hosting on certain road games for the Trailblazers as they get underway this season. Portland with game number 2 tomorrow night at home against Phoenix.
Got an updated score from our friends over at Mid-Major Media, a 3A football score, but an opponent that Banks played. Number 1, Rainier. They had their game canceled, and the regular season game they won by forfeit, so they scheduled with Onalaska, Washington. Rainier 7-1, Onalaska 2-4 up there in Washington, but Rainier, number 1 team from the 3A, leading Onalaska 14-8. Onalaska recovered an onside kick to start the second half, and they have it directly on the 50. Shout out to our friends there, Mid-Major Media.
And they put another 3 minutes on the clock before we start the third quarter. Braves players doing the jump around. No, do not see a coach in the middle of that huddle. Normally it is Cole Linehan.
So boys in blue are ready to go.
I've not
now.
heard anything from
Welcome back to the second half.
Banks administration either as to why Coach Linehan not down there. But we did hear Mr. Lyda, the public address here at Kelly Field, did actually announce Coach Linehan as the head coach of Banks Braves football. Cole W. Linehan.
Jason Tuff's offensive coordinator, and Steve Lyda
Good man.
Father of Banks backup quarterback Christian Lida and holder on field goals.
I can feel that chilly east breeze kicking up here as we get ready for the start of the second half.
Not quite as cold as it has been the last 2 weeks prior to tonight, but definitely a chill in the air as the moon is kind of glazed over with some high clouds off to the east.
Got a couple more halftime scores as we await the second half kickoff. Silverton got a 1-yard touchdown run with 22 and a half seconds left in the first half to take a 21-7 lead over West Albany. That is in the Mid-Willamette 5A division of the OSAA. Here is a 3A score. Siuslaw used to be in 4A, but halftime, Siuslaw leading Santiam Christian 21-0.
Santiam Christian located just a few minutes north of Corvallis, Adair Village up Highway 99 on the way to Monmouth from Corvallis.
Brian Sins. Clock of excellence by Clint Turner.
Got an update from Forest Grove also. This is a first half update, but Canby, number 5 Canby leading Forest Grove 19-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Christian Lida, 53, Michael Breen, 32, Charlie White, 58, Logan Kine, 62, Drew Brown.
Also another halftime, and I told you this one was for playoff implications. They're number 10, number 11 in 5A. Close game. North Salem 21, Scappoose 21 at halftime.
Wow.
Number 15, Aaron Brown. Number 31, Jamar Flippin.
Not much defense in that one.
Well, Braves normally a team that puts up a lot of points too, and
You're just joining us and
tonight just 7 points at halftime. Jamar Flippin a 1-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Cooper Goebel 2 first quarter fumbles.
Jamar Flippin with 8 carries, 56 yards, and that touchdown. He has 2 100-plus yard games this season for the Braves.
Zane Garvey is the kicker for the Mustangs.
Aaron Brown and Flippin are the 2 men back for the Braves, standing around the 15-yard line. And whistles and a flag, I think probably an illegal formation or offsides against Milwaukee. Tried to kind of get a high short kick for a onside type play for a possible recovery, but
offsides against Milwaukee was the call.
Mustangs now are backed up. They'll be kicking off from the 35.
So Milwaukee will now punt from, or kick off from their own 35.
That brings Jamar Flippin and Aaron Brown up in between the 20 and 25-yard line.
Again, a short kick, and it's going to be taken by Aaron Brown up close to the 35. Gets outside, breaks a tackle, and a late flag off the far side.
On the return.
Gets up to about the 40, but may come back due to a hold.
40-yard line.
Ball right now is on the Banks 40-yard line, but we'll see the result of the penalty.
Holding against the Braves.
Not the way you wanted to start the second half, to come out with a kick return and then get a hold and go 10 yards back. So
Holding indicated against the Braves on the return. That'll back them up. Now 1st and 10, ball at the 25.
So with the Banks Braves starting at their own 25-yard line, this would have been kind of like basically like a touchback if it would have went in the end zone and bring it out to the 25.
Goebel out of shotgun, flipping to his left. It's like a 3-receiver set. And quick throw out to Charlie White. And it's tripped up at the 30, a gain of about 5, second down and 5.
Completion from Cooper Goebel.
Yeah, I think the combination of the ball getting a little bit wet down there, a little bit muddy, and also the wind kicking up, making it cold, it's really hard to grip the football right there. And I watched as Cooper, he got the ball, he didn't really get it all the way, so he had to kind of get a second grasp on the ball before he threw the ball. So that's, I think, one of the things contributed to his fumbles in the first half as well.
Goebel again to throw, is going to roll right, and short pass thrown is caught by, I believe, Charlie White again. Crosses the 40, should be a Braves first down.
Yeah, second time in a row we've seen Charlie White with the reception right there. Another big, just a couple 5-yard chunks, and Banks, they like to do that short intermediate passing game right there, and a lot of times that's what will do the trick to open up the lanes for Jamar or Cooper to run with.
Just played a minute into the second half. Braves just a 7-0 lead over Milwaukee. Cooper Goebel flipping again to his left. Twins each side. High snap. Quick throw out. Charlie White again. 3 straight completions. Gets about 6 to the
32, Charlie White.
Actually
7 to the 42.
Second down and 3 for the Braves.
Yeah, just right over the middle that time again to his big tight end, Charlie White. He was the offensive player of the year a year ago in for a reason in this conference, and they're starting to, bring him in there as a weapon.
Trips to the near side, give to Jamar up the middle, and he may score. Touchdown, Jamar's gone. Braves up 13-0. Jamar flipping like a bolt of lightning from the 43-yard line, 57 yards, 10:02 left. Jamar flipping now officially over 100 yards on the night. His second touchdown run of the game, and Jamar right now has to be our hero of the game so far.
You mentioned a 100-yard rushing game. He is over 100 yards. That's his third 100-plus rushing yard game of the season. Needed only 6 yards to get over 500 yards for the season. Now he's got 600. I told you a couple weeks ago he would get 700 yards rushing. He's well on his way.
And Wyatt Hesselman finally misses an extra point.
Well, the indication is the kick was no good.
Ruled no good. 13-0 Braves. 10:02 left in the third quarter. Banks
took the ball
now spreading it out to a 2-score lead. That's a little bit more breathing room. We'll take a 30-second break and be back in just a moment after this. From Specialty Screen Printing of Yamhill.
Specialty Screen Printing in Yamhill offers your business the creativity and expertise to print your logo on a variety of items. Owners Ken and Linda Johnson have 40 years of experience on industrial parts and every type of material, including ceramic tile. Their fast service can have your project done in less than a week. Visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com, to see for yourself how they can help you boost your company's marketing and industrial screen printing needs. Call 971-998-9274 or visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com.
And we're back, 10:02 to go in the third quarter. Banks up 13-0 following a 47-yard touchdown run from Jamar Flippin to give him his second touchdown on the night.
Braves set to kick the ball off from the 40-yard line. Hesselman will apply the foot.
Actually, it was a 57-yard touchdown run because the ball was at the Braves 40. Jamar Flippin a 57-yard touchdown run to put the Braves up 13-0. And the kick is dropped on the return. It has some room. A late flag, probably a hold against Milwaukee. Decent return by the Mustangs up to about the 30-yard line, but This may come back after the return by Brody Thompson.
Jamar Flippin with 113 yards rushing so far on the night on 9 carries and 2 touchdowns. His previous game high, 160. That was at Hidden Valley.
Penalty is against Milwaukee. 9:55 to go in the third quarter.
Penalty yards applied, and Milwaukee has a 1st and 10, ball at the 11.
So after Milwaukee gets a decent return and somewhat decent field position, they have a holding penalty, mark the ball all the way back near the 10 at the 11-yard line. Harris, short give up the middle will be for maybe a couple yards to
Dive to the middle, tackle by 53, Michael
number 22.
Green. Ball carried by number 21, Igatov. Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Actually, Andrew Igontov on the carry for a gain of about 2. 2nd down and 8 from the 13. Under 9.5 minutes, third quarter. Braves a 13-0 lead. And Brody Thompson.
Tackle by number 5, Dylan Smith. Carry by number 2, Brody Thompson.
Short carry. Brody listed as a wide receiver. You don't normally see the wide receiver carry the football a lot, but gain of another 2 yards. It'll be actually a yard. 3rd down and 7 from the 14. And in motion, Zane Garvey for Milwaukee. Late in the count on the snap and a flag on the play. Looks like possibly another hold against Milwaukee as Harris is going to get out of bounds close to the first down marker.
Harris with quarterback keep. Tracked down, ran out of bounds by number 32, Charlie White. Tackled short of the first down marker. Penalty marker on the field over there.
Whitehead ready to make the call to the near side of the field. Checking with one of the Braves coaches on the sideline, I believe Jason Tufts, whether or not they want to accept the penalty. Holding is the call against Milwaukee.
Holding indicated against Milwaukee. Third down and 17 from the 3.
And the Braves with another opportunity to safety for, I believe, the 3rd time this season as Milwaukee's backed up all the way inside their own 5 at the 3-yard line, 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Harris. And just throws it out of the end zone like
Harris's pass incomplete.
looked like it could have been grounding again. Nobody in the area, but 4th down and long.
There's a flag that looks like the flag just came up.
4th and 17.
Or something came out. Oh, the ball. Threw a new ball into the sideline. It's not a flag just came in late, but really late. Yeah, Banks brought a heavy rush that time as Dylan Smith just came flying across the line into the backfield.
Tate Brandon to punt out of the back of his own end zone for Milwaukee. Jamar Flippin standing at the Mustang 34.
Yeah, they better hope nothing goes wrong here because he just literally cannot back up anymore. His heel is just inside the in line.
And Jamar's going to get away from it. It's going to bounce at about the 31 and or actually 27-yard line. 7:37 to go in the third quarter. Braves will have excellent field position. 1st and 10 at the Mustangs 27 after forcing a punt from Milwaukee out of the back of their own end zone.
Yeah, not only did Jamar get away from it, but he did a great job of leading the rest of the special teams group there and telling them, get away from it. That's the time when as your player, you're just saying fire, 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 and not allowing not having your guys to get around the ball.
Twins each side, offset to the far side. Now man in motion. Charlie White, pass caught out of the backfield and nearly being lifted up out of the air. Short gain, nice tackle on the play that time by number 16 for Milwaukee, Gavin Smith.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, another short little gain to Charlie White coming across there. Big target in there for Charlie, and he's leading receiver on this Banks Braves team.
16, Gavin Smith.
2nd down and 8 from the 26. Goebel, quick throw out right side to again Chuck White, and tripped up and is going to get the first down. And down finally close to the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Braves from, I think, about the 12-yard line.
Oh, but it's what he did before he got down to the after he made the catch. He hurdled a man to get that yardage to get free. Just a great play showing the athletic ability of Mr. Charlie White. Get down and getting the Braves into the red zone. And this is the Banks offense that we're used to seeing right here.
You don't usually see a man of Charlie's size make those kind of dance moves to try to get yards after the catch. Goebel out of shotgun with flipping to his right. We'll give it to Jamar. And off the left side and gets in between a couple of defenders and is brought down around the 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 5.
Nice 7-yard run for Jamar flipping that time, adding to his 100-yard rushing game here.
Gain of 7 on the play.
Actually a gain of 7
Braves.
Down to about the
2nd down and 3. Ball is out inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line.
7 or 8-yard line. Braves can get a first down to about the 3. And toss out to Jamar, and no indication yet. I do believe they have the first down, but not the touchdown.
First down, but 1st and goal. 4 chances to get the ball into the end zone. Going to be spotted at about the 3-yard line.
It's been the Jamar Flippin show tonight.
Well, when you're as explosive and as athletic as Jamar Flippin is, you go with you dance with who brung you.
His 2nd carry ever in varsity as a freshman, 75 yards for a touchdown. Toss again to Flippin off the far side, and is going to get nowhere. May have got back to the line of scrimmage. Number
31, Jamar.
Yeah, looks like he did just get back to the 3-yard line. Great pursuit that time on the outside by the Milwaukee defense, really adjusting to it. And that's the downside of that. Always going to Jamar is the defense is going to now know what's coming. So that's why you got to get a little bit misdirection. They thought they had something on the outside, but just nothing there.
Clock under 5 minutes, 3rd quarter. Braves hoping for their 2nd touchdown in the 3rd quarter, up just 7-0 at halftime. Hunter Smith and Charlie White to the near side, Twins each direction. Goebel look to throw, back corner of the end zone. Charlie White incomplete, too far out of the back of the end zone. 3rd down and goal.
For White, incomplete. Take 3rd down.
So one more shot to get this ball in the end zone. You might just go little RPO right here with Cooper Goebel. Just make sure he hangs on to the football this time and tuck that ball tuck that ball inside. Maybe, give Cooper a chance to redeem himself right here. So, hey, that's just a fluke. But little quarterback draw. We'll see.
Goebel, shovel pass late through a crowd. Touchdown Banks. Charlie White for the touchdown from 3 yards out. Puts the Braves up 19-0. We'll see if they go for 2 to make it an even 3-touchdown lead.
No, I say just go ahead and send White back out there. White's too good of a kicker, and just let him boot it through. I mean, going for 2 right now that's just crazy. That's Chip Kelly-ish right there.
Hesselman to attempt the extra point. Snap is down, and it is good this time. 4:17 to go in the third quarter. Banks now starting to create some space against Milwaukee. Banks 20, Milwaukee Mustangs nothing. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Tenente's Pizza of North Plains.
North Plains Chamber of Commerce invites you to Tenente's Pizza and Subs. Try one of the many specialty pizzas like the Mama Supremo or a delicious torpedo sub sandwich. Mention Westside Greatest Hits and save 10% off your order. Tenente's Pizza and Subs at the corner of Glencoe and Pacific in North Plains. Open 11 to 8:30 Monday through Saturday and Sunday 3 to 8 for carry-out and delivery. Visit the website, Tenente'sPizzaAndSubs.com, or call 503-647-5761.
And we're back, 4:17 to go in the third quarter. Banks a 20-0 lead over Milwaukee. The Mustangs kept the Braves pretty much in check in the first half. Just a 7-0 lead for the Braves at halftime, coming on a 1-yard Jamar Flippin touchdown run. He's now added 2 more scores to that here added another touchdown to that here in the second half. Also, Charlie White just a moment ago, his first touchdown reception of the night, a 3-yard shovel pass from quarterback Cooper Goebel, with 4:17 left in the third.
First touchdown reception of the night, but his 6th touchdown reception this season for the Banks Braves.
Brody Thompson, I believe, taking the ball from his own 2, and we'll get up to about the 20, but again, another late flag on the opposite side of the field to the near side as the play was made on the far side of the field near the Milwaukee bench.
Yeah, the side judge throwing that one in.
Looks like it's going to be against Milwaukee. Illegal block. Oh, against the Braves. Illegal block in the back.
No reaction from the home crowd. Obviously, when you're up 20-0 and maybe just kind of frozen a little bit from that chill east wind that kicked up at the start of the second half, you just like, okay.
Mustangs have a 1st and 10, ball at the 31-yard line.
1st and 10 Milwaukee, 4:06 left. 1st and 10 from about the 32. Harris quick throw out of the backfield, making a move up to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nice job of sportsmanship that time by Jamar Flippin. Number 3, Zane Garvey, the ball carrier. A couple of players familiar with each other from the Oregon Bowl game, as you talked about last summer.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say, they were on the same team together at that game played at the Max down in McMinnville at Linfield University.
Another flag at the 30-yard line.
Had a lot of flags here in the second half. Actually, the last couple of weeks now, a lot of flags in the second half, really slowing games down. I Takes 4 guys to talk about. I think they're talking about where they're going to go after the game to eat and who's paying.
Grounding?
Personal foul against Milwaukee.
So that'll be a first 15-yard penalty. Should mark the ball back around the 16. It'll be first down and 25.
Assess Milwaukee backed up 15 yards. Say first and 26.
And they need to get to the 42-yard line. First and forever.
Harris throws to the left side. Caught for no gain, making the catch.
Yeah, he threw that ball from the other side of the field and caught it over to his left there, and just a whole lot of yardage on the play for nothing.
Harris's pass complete
Looked like
to number 1, LaChapelle.
it was Sean LaChapelle actually making the catch. Looked like it may have been 21, but Christian Lyda making the tackle.
Second down and long.
The Lyda guys have been in there all night long making plays, as they usually are.
4 receivers from Milwaukee again. Harris to throw. Now lost the football and still loose. Braves say they have it.
They do. Michael Vereen making the fumble, forced the fumble.
Michael Vereen with the fumble recovery for the Braves. Their first turnover of the night after Cooper Goebel's 2 giveaways for the Braves.
Michael Vereen forced the fumble. Christian Lyda fell on it to recover from the fumble.
So after all the effort the Milwaukee defense put in the first half and unable to put points on the board, I think Milwaukee may be just starting to run out of gas here late in the third quarter.
First and 10, Braves, ball at the 14.
First and 10 for the Braves in the red zone from the Milwaukee 14 following the fumble recovery. Goebel to throw, pass caught. Charlie White touchdown and a late flag.
Goebel's pass complete to 32.
I'm sure this will come back.
The result was a touchdown, but there is a penalty marker.
Indication is against the Braves. I missed the, you saw him make the indication. I believe it's a 15-yard personal foul. We're going to mark the ball all the way back at the 30-yard line. So personal foul penalty against the Braves.
First down. Braves have a
This was the indication on the
first and 25.
Is that a personal foul?
Ball at the 29-yard line.
That's pushing.
I know, that's the call he made, though. So not sure what the flag on the field was officially, but 15-yard personal foul. We know that against the Braves. Trips to the near side. Flipping to the left of Goebel. 2:51 left in the third. Braves at 20-0 lead. Goebel to throw. Has Hunter Smith making the grab in the end zone with a diving catch. Oh, they're going to say incomplete.
And now the Banks Braves Nation comes alive. First it was the elation of the good play. Now it's, oh, are you kidding me?
Pass incomplete. We'll have a second and 20.
Second down and 25 from the
29-yard line.
29-yard line, 2:44 left, third quarter. Number 6 Banks leading Milwaukee 20-0. Milwaukee unable to capitalize on 2 first-half Cooper Goebel turnovers. 4 receivers set, all to the near side. Offensive pass interference to call against the Braves a moment ago. Another flag and possibly another hold at the line of scrimmage.
Number 31, Jamar Flippin with the carry. Penalty marker.
This third quarter seems like it's already taken about a half an hour. Holding against the Braves.
So another great run by Jamar Flippin, but that's going to be waved off by the holding call. This is where the Braves on that line, you got to remain your composure, make your blocks, but get off of them and not take that extra hold on there. Starting to move, they get in the red zone, now they're starting to move back, and that's putting more pressure on Cooper Goebel and your special skill players.
So, second down, and from the 30.
Need to get to the 5-yard line for a first down.
Second down and 34. Goebel, straight drop, pass too high, intended for Jamar Flippin. Third down and long.
Yeah, he had to rush to get that one off because he had 2 Milwaukee Mustangs just galloping right after him in the backfield and putting their hooves up there in the air to try and distract his view, which I guess credit the Mustangs because it worked and made him rush the ball before he wanted to. Third and a mile here for the Braves.
Ball at the
see what Coach
Mustangs
Tufts wants
38.
To do.
Four receiver set, 2 offset to the far side. Flippin moves to the right of Goebel. Looks to throw. Pass is thrown. Caught over the middle of the field. Aaron Brown gets back close to the original line of scrimmage. Inside the 15 to about the 14, a gain of about 20. It'll still bring up about third down and about 11 or 12.
And it looks like I think maybe they're bringing in Wyatt for maybe a field goal. I saw the Cooper come off, I think.
Braves have a 4th and 13.
So Wyatt Hesselman will attempt a
17-yard line.
27-yard field goal from the right hash mark.
He has cooked. His longest this season is a 36-yarder.
Snap is down. Kick is up.
Looks good. Might be wide.
Wide
right. Wide left.
But it left.
Wide to the left, no good. 1:11 to go in the third quarter. Banks fails to put points on the board. Still up 20-0. 1:11 left to go before the fourth quarter. We'll keep things here as Milwaukee will take over on downs.
He had plenty of leg into it. In fact, I think I see Mr. Wilson back there behind the coming up his back porch, shaking his fist. Yeah, who hit me in the head as I was watching the TV? Okay, maybe not that far, but it went towards the house over there. Circa, going back to Dennis the Menace, circa.
Walter Matthau.
Yeah.
Harris to throw, pass. Oh, Milwaukee wanted a pass interference call, not going to get it. Jack Lyda in on the coverage.
50s, 60s.
Number 2, Brody Thompson. Second down and
Dennis
10.
the Menace was on in like the 50s.
The original version was in the black and white days of television back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Walter Matthau One of the last movies he did before he died was Dennis the Menace. 107 left. Pass incomplete from Caden Harris. Second down and 10. Milwaukee takes over on the Braves 20 following the missed 27-yard field goal from Wyatt Hesselman. Movement and no flag. Harris to throw. Passes. Able to make the catch, but they're nearly able to make the interception, but pass is caught by number 3, Zane Garvey.
Zane Garvey doing a little bit of everything for this Milwaukee Mustang team. He hasn't really been able to run the ball too much, but they put him out there on the run and makes a nice 15-yard play for the Mustangs. And really said for the first time since late in the second quarter, Milwaukee doing this late quarter push here as we go under a minute and making a drive here.
Jamar Flippen nearly timed that throw perfectly for an interception, but somehow had to go through his hands, and Zane Garvey able to make the catch up to the 30-yard line. Harris again to throw. Looks to go deep. Again, LaChapelle. Nearly intercepted by Jamar again. Looked like a little bit of hand jockeying that time by LaChapelle, trying to hold off one of the Braves defenders on the throw. Looked like we could have had offensive pass interference on that play as well.
Yeah, Harris threw that ball up there, trying to use the size advantage with Mr. LaChapelle again, who has a few inches on Jamar back there. But Jamar just being the little bulldog he is. Like I said last week, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's how hard he works and his bite. And Jamar definitely there. But another penalty on the play, Trevor.
Penalty will be against Milwaukee. What is that? So they have, looks like probably another personal foul. Gave the call of the chop block to the arm. It will be a 15-yard penalty against Milwaukee. So take away that incredible pass play by LaChapelle. Put them all the way up to the 30.
To the 13-yard line.
It's either a hold or an illegal block in the back by the Mustangs.
30 seconds left, likely the final play of the third quarter, but one of the only things that would prevent that, a flag on the play.
Too much laundry on the field. We need a laundromat here in Banks. Or if you're a laundromat, you could be sponsoring this game and help clean up the laundry.
Second half of tonight's game presented by Tide.
Yeah, starting to get some muddy jerseys out there. But the field, I got to say, once again, best grass field I've seen. I mean, there's some muddy spots, but it's holding up very well. I've seen a lot worse.
The jerseys and enough flags thrown tonight to make a load of laundry that would need Tide for. Pass by Harris thrown and caught for a short gain. Second down and
LaChapelle on the grab that time.
Finally,
again.
The third quarter will gracefully come to an end. Banks with a 20-0 lead as we head to the fourth quarter. Mustangs head to the huddle. After 3, number 6 Banks 20, Milwaukee nothing. Banks a couple of touchdowns in the third quarter to try to create some separation. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with our final spot of our first rotation, Oregon Army National Guard.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Oregon Army National Guard, aired by the Oregon Association of Broadcasters and this station.
And we're back, start of the fourth quarter. Banks a 20-0 lead. One more score should put this one just about out of reach for Milwaukee. Definitely thought this game would be... Definitely did not think it would take this long for this game to get to this point. But Milwaukee, a great job defensively, and Cooper Goebel, 2 first-quarter fumbles kept helped Milwaukee keep it close at 7-0 halftime.
Four's in the air, and we're 7 minutes shy of 2 hours old for this football game.
Second down and 30 for Milwaukee.
Second down and 30 for Milwaukee. Need to get to the 45 for a first down. Harris out of shotgun. 5 receiver set. Straight drop. And now he's going to keep it and just get out of bounds on the Braves sideline. Gain of about 5 to the 20.
The muddiest jersey of all, Charlie White, forcing him out of bounds. Talking about someone to get to the sidelines. We talked about that a few weeks ago earlier this season at Estacada, but Charlie White, also one of those linebackers who comes over, starts in the middle, and can come on a dime to force somebody out of bounds, as he did right there.
11:52 left in the game. Banks a 20-0 lead.
College coaches, if you're looking for somebody who can catch a pass or block somebody on your offensive line, or need a strong middle linebacker, you need to come see Charlie White.
Harris diving incomplete, trying to make the grab, number 12 for Milwaukee, Alberto Buccio.
So Jackson Vaughn, if you're listening down there in McMinnville, come on over to Banks. Charlie White looked pretty good in purple and cardinal at Linfield University.
Incompletion stops the clock, 11:49 left.
Jackson Vaughn, of course, the great defensive coordinator for Linfield Wildcats. Softball coach, too, women's softball coach.
Baseball score, Houston advances to the World Series, defeating Boston in the American League Championship Series with a 5-0 win tonight. And short kick is going to be taken by Jamar at the Braves 48. Makes a couple of men miss, down the 40, 35, 30. Gets back to the near side. Jamar Flippin's going to score. Touchdown, Banks. Jamar Flippin on a...
Braves are on now to attempt the point after try.
Picked that ball up just over the 50-yard line, 51 yards on that punt return for Jamar Flippin.
Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. 11:32 left. Banks 27, Milwaukee nothing, following a 51-yard touchdown punt return from Jamar. Punt return for a touchdown from Jamar Flippin. Banks 27, Milwaukee nothing. 11:32 left. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Jason Bond Remodeling.
Thinking about updating your kitchen or bath? James Bond Remodeling has over 20 years experience fabricating and installing stone countertops and can upgrade your home with the countertops of your dreams without the dreamy price tag. They pride themselves on quality and customer satisfaction. They offer stone countertop fabrication and installation and cabinet installation services. They'll do their best to beat any bid by 10%. Based locally in Washington County, they'll do jobs in most Portland metro locations. Call 503-753-9993 or email jasonbondremodeling@gmail.com. Jason Bond Remodeling, Oregon CPB number 227733.
$11:32 left in the game. Banks a 27-0 lead, about to improve to 7-1 and set up a end of the season matchup against Tillamook for the 4A District 1 title. May have already clinched it if Seaside beats Tillamook tonight. And give up the middle, or carry up the middle by Milwaukie on the return.
Number 24 on the return. First met by number 30, Luke Bozai.
Number 24, Lorenzo Dukes on the return. We can't clinch tonight, though, can we? Because if Seaside beats Tillamook, we still have to play Tillamook to decide.
If Seaside wins tonight and Banks holds on, Banks can clinch at least a share of the district title, and can go for the outright next week and the number 1 seed to playoffs.
No playing round this year for 4A football. Just 31 teams. 16 will advance to the first round, which will begin in about 2 weeks. Harris hands it off the near side. Gain. Number 3, Zane Garvey.
Ball carrier.
Gain of about 4. Second down and 6 to about the 33.
58, Logan Kine. Gain of 4 on the play. Second down and 6.
Harris. Under center. Braves come on a blitz, and Harris gets rid of it. Pass is caught by number 2, Brody Thompson. Milwaukie on the move, down 4 scores, 27-0. Milwaukie at the Mustangs 43.
Ball at the 43.
Harris. Late give to number 22, again not on the roster.
Number 22, the ball carrier, met by a whole host of Braves.
Not get much, actually lose about 3 yards. It'll be second down and 13, back to the 40.
Also 3 on the play, second down and 13.
Under 9.5 minutes left. Milwaukie comes to the line, 40-yard line of the Mustangs, second down and 13. Harris, straight drop, looks to throw. Down the near sideline, and it is, nearly intercepted by Aaron Brown. Perfect coverage that time on La Chapelle.
Well covered by number 15, Aaron Brown.
Yeah, I was watching Aaron Brown all along on that play as he was matched up with the bigger La Chapelle, but Aaron Brown using his head, play smart on defense. He did exactly that, and he had the inside position on La Chapelle to catch that ball, but just not quite there to get there. But great pursuit, great coverage by Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown's going to get one of those, whether it's this week or next week. He's going to get one of those.
Well, next week will be a challenge for us, as Tillamook's rosters normally do not include positions, so we'll have to figure that out on the field. Harris is going to go down, back at the 35, and fourth down and long for Milwaukie. And I'm sure another Mustangs punt coming from.
There's that man again in the backfield, putting the quarterback down to the grass, Charlie White. Boy, tough decision tonight, deciding a hero of the game, because there's a number of guys. Christian Lida out there, Charlie White, both sides, Jamar Flippin. But of course, with 3 touchdowns, kind of hard to beat.
Jamar Flippin over 200 all-purpose yards tonight with the 2 big punt returns, 1 for a touchdown, as that ball nearly goes into the bleachers on the punt.
Yeah, that almost went up to Mr. Lida upstairs in the press box. I think I heard him yell.
8 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in the game.
So I'm sure we're going to get a heavy dose of Jamar, if he's even still in the game, with 8:13 left and a 4-score lead, as the Braves will just keep it on the ground and try to eat up the clock, up 4 touchdowns. Jamar flipping 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 on special teams, and a touchdown for Charlie White off of a 3-yard shovel pass to get the scoring started in the second half. Goebel, quick throw out. Charlie White lost the ball, and Milwaukee says they have it, and they do. The third turnover of the night, fumbled, and Braves coaching staff saying he was bobbling the pass, should be incomplete, but this game still too far out of reach for Milwaukee, down 4 scores with 8 minutes left. Jason Tufts trying to say that Charlie was bobbling the pass as the ball came out, but made the catch and was actually headed upfield. Good call to rule the fumble, and catches made on the pass play from Harris to number 2, Brody Thompson. Gain of about 12. Stops the clock, 7:55 left to go in the game. Braves still a 27-0 lead. Gain of 11 officially to the 41. Braves content to let the Mustangs take their time coming to the line. 4 receivers, each offset. Spread formation with Harris out of shotgun. And Christian Lida brings him down back at the 35.
Christian Lida again in the backfield. He has been all night making plays on that Banks Braves defense. Coming up from his corner position. Braves really learned a lot of things about themselves and how to defend the run playing at Estacada. They've been much sharper, and that's why I said, I'd love to see Estacada and Banks again. I don't think it's going to be the same thing the second time around. This Banks Braves team is a much better football team than they were in week 2 at Estacada.
Clock nearing 6.5 minutes for Milwaukee. Time running out for the Mustangs. Harris under center. Now will roll straight back and off the hand, attempting to make the one-hand grab, number 21, Igantov. And that'll bring up 4th and long. And this is the ball game for Milwaukee.
3rd down and 15.
Score update from the Class 4A Sky M. Marshfield leading North Eugene 29-7. That is in the second half.
Actually got it down ahead of myself. 3rd down and 15.
Estacada in a squeaker with North Marion, 37-6.
.6:23 left. Banks a 27-0 lead, up just 7-0 at halftime. Harris out of shotgun. Straight drop, quick throw out. Pass is caught by number 3, spinning and being brought down at about the 45. Making the catch, Zane Garvey, but this puts Milwaukee and the Mustangs in a much better 4th down situation. 4th down and about 6 from the 45.
I mean, at this point, the Milwaukee Mustangs, with over 6 minutes to go in the game, they're not going to I've never heard of a 26-point touchdown. They're not going to win the game, but this is just building a little bit of momentum. I mean, this is Tim Price coming over from the PIL, coaching at Jefferson and Roosevelt and Park Rose. He's building a program. They've recharged this team, and this is all about just getting some respect, maybe getting in the end zone and avoiding the shutout.
Harris out of shotgun. Again, straight drop. Now will roll left and be thrown down back at the 30. And the Braves will take over on downs. And that should clear a lot of the fans out here with under 5.5 minutes left.
Just relentless backside pressure again by the Banks Braves. Great game plan by the coaching staff. Don't know whether that was Jason Tufts or
Steve Lyda.
Steve Lyda. I think it's Steve Lyda running the defense. I know Jason runs the offense, but great call by the coaching staff down there to just be in the backfield. They've had great backside pressure all night long, and really making Milwaukee quarterback work back there for everything he's had.
Braves take over on downs. 1st and 10 from the Milwaukee 32. Global under center. Or no, out of
the gun.
Number 23, Davon Vereen.
Davon Vereen on the carry. Jamar Flippins' night is most likely done. 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, he's over on the sidelines, standing next to Cooper Goebel. Chance for the second unit to get in there and get some time.
Changing quarterback, number 18, Cade Long, taking snaps.
Cade Long now checks into the game at quarterback for the Banks Braves.
Cade out of shotgun, toss to the left to Vereen, and slipped in. Is going to lose a couple yards, but losing more on the play almost for Milwaukee. Number 24, Lorenzo Dukes, took a hard hit as Vereen slipped just as Dukes met him.
There's two things about this. One, it's a great chance to get the second unit some time in there in the games. A lot of these players are JV players, but also it's a great show of sportsmanship by the Banks Braves. Saying, hey, we're up 26-0. There's 4 minutes to go. We don't need. We're in a great position. We could go down and score and go to the jugular. Like a lot of coaches would do that. But Banks is not going to do that. They're very classy.
Cade Long is going to keep it off the far side and gets 5, maybe 6 yards before heading out of bounds into the Milwaukee bench far side under 4 minutes, 3:55 left.
Very classy programs led by some very classy coaches.
Like 4th down and 5.
Even when their coaches are not there on the sidelines, they're absolutely some of the best.
4th and 6, ball at the 27.
Very fortunate to have them.
4 minutes.
High snap, and Cade Long tries to pick it up on the bounce and is lucky to get back on it. Actually, it's going to be Davon Vereen.
Yeah, Davon Vereen alertly using his veteran presence there, a junior. I really believe that next season, Davon Vereen should bounce into the starting running back position. I think it'll be between he and Justin Walters, although we haven't really seen much of Justin Walters lately. But if he's still on the team in there, I think it's between Justin Walters and Davon Vereen to carry the load next season. We're seeing a lot of Justin Walters early on of the year alternate, but haven't seen much action at all.
Number 22, Tristan Rogers.
A lot of young players getting in the game now for the Banks Braves.
Caden Harris out of shotgun. 5 receivers set, 4 to the near side, offset. Straight drop. Now he's going to step up and throw late. Pass is caught inside the 45 by Zane Garvey.
The other thing for the Banks Braves you do by resting your starters right here is you've got a big game coming up next week against the Tillamook Cheesemakers, and it could be very well whether they win or lose tonight, it doesn't matter. Next week is for the district championship and the number 1 seed of the playoffs. So you don't want to. In this situation, you don't want to keep your starters in there and risk them getting hurt and having to miss that game. So just rest, let your young guys get in and get some name recognition and some valuable playing time.
Under 3.5 minutes left, 3:15. Banks 27, Milwaukee nothing. High snap to Harris. Still looking, now will roll left. And hit as he throws. Is it a fumble? They're going to roll incomplete.
I think his arm was going forward. I think that's the right call. His arm was he hit him just as he was passing, and I think his arm, it's the old, his arm was going forward, and so it's an incomplete pass. Great play, though, on the defense. I mean,
the new Braves are getting a chance to get on the field. That way their parents.
Harris he's gonna go to bed tonight when he gets back into his southeast Portland neighborhood. He's gonna go to sleep tonight, and he's going to have nightmares of Braves coming at him across the field. When he wakes up in the morning, he's going to be tattooed in blue and Vegas gold.
3:03 left. Milwaukee trying to put points on the board and make the score a little bit more respectable before the end of tonight's game, and Fumble on the play.
Recovered, number 74.
Number 74 for the Braves.
Third or fourth fumble for the Milwaukee Mustangs this tonight, and I think that's the first time they've actually lost it.
Let's go.
But still, the Braves still -2 in the turnover margin, but they're up 26 on the scoreboard. That doesn't always work out that way, but sometimes it does. Didn't win the turnover margin, but they'll take the win on the scoreboard.
Yesterday, the 7th and 8th grade for Banks played over in Scappoose. Came home with a victory, 46-18. Congratulations to the 7th and 8th grade. They're working on a undefeated season.
Braves take over after the fumble from Milwaukee under 3 minutes. Ball at the Braves 43. And new ball carrier into the game for Banks looks like number 48, Aiden Ramble, the only 4 I see on the field that's on the roster.
Yeah, Aiden Ramble, he's also number 80 on the JV team. I think the Braves have played a couple of JV games. We talked about that last week when they played the Monday before. The Monday of that week, they played at Jesuit Freshman, kind of holding their own against the 6A Jesuit Freshman team, which is usually pretty good.
Loss of about a yard on the play. Again, high snap over the head of Cade Long. Picks it up and is going to try to make something out of it. And nearly slips and goes down and is finally gang tackle all the way back inside the 40.
Number 18, Cade Long.
Yeah, the wetness of the field showing there with just, you're trying to go one way and it just slips you up right there because it's so wet and slick out there. So he just lost his footing right there.
So 2, maybe 3 more plays should just about do it.
Third down and 18 for Banks.
But they've only got 1 more play before they'll have to kick it away. Only thing left now is to see if they can preserve the shutout. Last 2 weeks they've held their opponents scoreless. 38-0 last week against Seaside. Cade Long, quick snap, able to bring it down again, hands it to Ramble, crosses the 40 to about the 42. It'll be a short gain, and we'll bring up 4th down. This will be the final play of the game. 35 seconds left. And Cade Long gets to the outside, gets back a little bit past the original line of scrimmage. Good gain to finish. Apparently got out of bounds, stops the clock with 18 seconds left. Time for one more play.
The last possible thing you would want in a game like this is to extend. It's like you just, you just want to keep the clock running. But you know what? With these young guys out there, though, it's another chance to teach them and coach them up and let them have another play and get more experience. So, I mean, some people are going to be like, geez, why'd you go out of bounds? But, hey, you got to look at the future. You're building for the future, man. And the future is bright here at Banks.
So
just look at that youth football program.
Milwaukee will take over on downs. 1st and 10 from the Braves, 48.
Last play of the game, most likely. Congratulations to the Banks Braves. You will advance to 4-0 in the league play, 7-1 on the season. Most
Not sure what we're waiting for, but here we go.
Is on Kelly Field tonight.
Back-to-back shutouts pitched by the Braves defense. 38-0 last week against Seaside. 27-0 tonight against Milwaukee. And on the last play of the game, they're going to extend it.
That was a beautiful defensive play, but I think it's going to be a PI, but maybe offensive PI.
Defense applied by 22, Tristan Rogers. Yes, sir.
Pass intended for number 12, Alberto Buccio.
Now, interesting, if this goes against the offense, the clock should continue to run. But if it goes against...
Pass
I think it's going against the Braves. Which is interesting considering these guys get paid by the game, not by the hour. But maybe the reservation for their restaurant isn't quite ready yet.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs. 4 receivers set. Final play of the game. 11 seconds left. Buccio the catch. Makes the first down grab inside the 20.
And he was pushed back by a host, a tribe of Banks Braves players. I think 5 guys all right there. Just they swarmed to the ball instantly as soon as he caught it. But it's still 3.2 seconds to go, so they get another play. They're just letting them have a chance to score.
And they're just going to let the clock run out. Milwaukee will not snap the football. Final score, Banks 27, Milwaukee nothing. Not a pretty start. Banks had just a 7-0 lead at the half. Quarterback Cooper Goebel, 2 fumbles on runs inside the red zone. Braves should probably have had a 21-0 lead at halftime, but Banks makes up for it in the second half with a couple of touchdowns in the third quarter and a 51-yard touchdown run off the punt return for Jamar Flippin. The final score of the game early in the fourth to put this one to bed and put the Mustangs in the stable in the barn. Final score, Banks 27, number 6 Braves beating Milwaukee Mustangs 27-0. Jonathan?
Well, it's a great football game for the Banks Braves, and another shutout, their 4th shutout of the season, and as you mentioned, their 2nd straight shutout. And well, I told you one team was going to leave this field tonight with a loss, and it's not the Banks Braves. They are still 4-0 this season right here at Kelly Field, and the Milwaukee Mustangs will head back over. They're going to head east on Highway 26 with their first road loss of the season. Fall to 3-3, 500. But this is a good football team by the Milwaukee Mustangs. Obviously, talking with some of their assistant coaches before the game, they were missing some players. That they don't have a full roster here. Not making excuses for them. Don't want to take anything away from the Braves attack. The Braves really had a great game plan, came out. But Milwaukee does have some bright stars out there. LaChapelle is a great receiver. Caden Harris, a great quarterback. He definitely is. They got something going there with Caden Harris. I do agree with Coach Tim Price that I think he can be a first in all league first team this season, before his time is up, and he'll be a senior next year. So, Milwaukee is going to be right there. I think they're going to, they're a former 5A school. They're trying to find their way here in the 4A, but I think they're going to make some noise in the future. So we talked about the future being bright at Banks. I think the future is bright at Milwaukee. So Milwaukee Mustang Nation, and if anyone's listening in, thank you, and you've got a great team. So you're going to keep the faith and stay with your team, because better days are ahead for the Milwaukee Mustangs. You got a great coach and a great coaching staff, and it was a joy to talk with him in pregame. And definitely want to wish Cole Linehan a speedy recovery, as he is out. He was out for tonight with an undisclosed illness, according to a member of the Braves coaching staff. Again, our final score: Banks 27, Milwaukee nothing. And Jonathan, Oregon National Guard hero of the game before we wrap things up. Well, it's got to be Jamar Flippin, nearing 200 yards of all-purpose yards. He had over 100 yards rushing tonight, about 150 rushing yards roughly. I got to look at my stats there. He left the ball game. Yeah, he ended up with 12 carries on the night, and just quickly doing the math there, 124 yards rushing, with two touchdowns rushing, and a 51-yard punt return for a touchdown. I believe that's his second or third punt return for a touchdown this season. Second one right here at Kelly Field. And so easily the Oregon Army special or hero of the game. And with the special return or special teams yardage, he had well over 200 yards for all-purpose yards for Jamar Flippin. Had a 33-yard punt return in the first half, the 51-yarder, and that's not counting the 12 carries for 124 yards on the ground rushing the football tonight. So our next broadcast, and also had a reception as well for over 20 yards as well. So our next broadcast will be our final broadcast of the regular season, as next Friday night the Banks Braves host Tillamook in what will decide the 4A District 1 League champion. Banks, Seaside, and Tillamook will all advance to the 4A state playoffs. Jonathan? And then after that, we don't want to jump the cart, but just kind of looking ahead, because, playoffs are right around the corner, and a lot of people are talking about it. It looks like at this point, with Banks being a 6th seed in there, they'll probably would host their next 2 games, because they'll probably be right back here to open up the playoffs, but maybe they're not. Right now they're set up with Baker, and I'm like, that might be some sort of neutral site game. We definitely would want to see that. That early in the season, they don't usually play neutral site games until the quarterfinals, which would be the following round. Baker has played here a couple of occasions. One of my first playoff games broadcasting Banks High School athletics was I believe a 35 or 38-0. A win for Banks on a field much muddier than this. Couldn't read half the numbers on the players by the time the game was over. 8 fumbles in that contest about 7 years ago on my first year covering Banks High School athletics. The first time these Banks and Baker played, but if that is the matchup in the first round, a lot of history between those two teams. So we got to get things picked up quickly, as things are starting to get cleared out pretty fast. A lot of players and parents and fans out on the field wishing congratulations. That's going to do it for us for tonight. Any final words, Jonathan? Just, if you've been thinking about, checking this team out, come on out next week, because it's going to be a heck of a matchup. It's going to be a dandy. The Banks Braves, the Tillamook Cheesemakers. Wish we could get a score from that Seaside game, but been trying the whole fourth quarter, trying to run down all my sources to get one, but that's the problem. We are getting up to speed technology, but some of the smaller schools, they don't all have staffs to run that kind of thing, so not a lot of reporters out on those out there on the coast as well. And of course, big weather phenomenon out there on the coast as well. That game was at Seaside, and 40-mile-an-hour winds expected out there this weekend. So, hey, be safe, everybody, and go Braves, go Beavs. So that'll do it for us. Again, our final score, number 6 Banks 27, Milwaukee nothing. Banks wins their 6th straight game to improve to 7-1 overall and 4-0
in Co-op League play with one more game to finish in District 1, actually, I should say, next Friday night against Tillamook. For Jonathan Lee, I'm Trevor Beard. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night and your weekend.